Mm. 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 I should have got a good drink to go with that. Hello, World Wide Web. I'm Dr. Shado, the internet personality with the best hair, and welcome to Live and Wired, episode 18, Predator Sandwiches.
And I have Decker's drink right here.
And I have both.
This is
why they're way better at planning things than me. So yes, episode 18, Predator Sandwiches, because you couldn't pick just one thing to name this particular episode after. Hi, Tara. Hi.
Yes. Unfortunately, we don't have any news about sandwiches, but we do have lots of news about predators and lots of other stuff.
Always like news about predators. This is the new movie coming out, Tara, and I'm not very excited for it because everything I've seen has made me go, ugh.
Yes, but we do have some somewhat interesting things to talk about, which I'm sure that down the line maybe we'll get some inkling of excitement, but it's still yet to be determined.
Yeah. Also, for anyone who is curious, Tara is not the only kitty who is joining in right now.
Yes, there is a cat.
Yes, Tara, that's a cat right there. You don't have to be all scared.
Kairos Dros Temir says the sandwiches meme return.
The return of the meme.
Yes.
The revenge.
That would be a good subtitle for a movie. Something. Return of the meme. Or Predator Sandwiches. Return of the meme.
Yes. We're still doing the Predator titles, aren't we? Just taking a title of a movie and just putting it in with something involving with that.
Leading Blind says, I'm late. How am I late? WTF reminders? And I'm thinking the little notification bell should be like a Liberty Bell. It's broken and doesn't really work.
I think we should start calling it that from now on. Instead of the notification bell, it should be the Liberty Bell.
Oh,
yes.
Boy. The jerk is asking for a download of the penis song, Creepy.
Oh, boy.
I gave that to you. Had that, Decker, not me. Remember, we had way back in like almost 4 years ago, back in 2014 when we did Godzilla versus Mothra month. We recorded a version of the penis song together, and nothing ever came of it. You told me that you sent it to Ichabod Todd, and that was the last you ever mentioned of it.
Well, then you should go and contact Ichabod Todd.
Why don't you?
Because I'm eating a sandwich.
That's not an excuse. Not anymore. Not with today's technology. You should just be able to say, "Hey Google, connect Ichabod Todd."
But yes, the Predator news.
Mm-hmm. Yes, let's get to that first because that is basically part of the title. So
kind of, sort of.
Sure. All right, let's start off with the first bit of Predator news. Let's talk about the movie Predator. So, as of yesterday, they did show off a closer look at what the ultimate Predator is going to look like for the movie. So, let me just scroll down for a second. Here we go. So, 20th Century Fox has released a brand new TV spot for Shane Black's upcoming sequel, The Predator. The new action-packed teaser gives an audience a much closer look to the ultimate Predator towards the end of the clip. From the outer reaches of space to the small town streets of suburbia, the hunt comes home in Black's explosive reinvention of the Predator series. Now the universe's most lethal hunters are stronger, smarter, and deadlier than ever before, having genetically upgraded themselves with DNA from other species. When a young boy accidentally triggers their return to Earth, only a ragtag crew of ex-soldiers and a disgruntled science teacher can prevent the end of the human race. And
Olivia Munn saving the world. I'm gonna love this.
Let me see if I understood that correctly. A kid did this.
Yes, a kid.
Not like a troop of negligent scientists, not a military operation, not
the
space truckers.
Was pretty damn negligent, leaving this top secret military alien technology in a fucking box under the coffee table.
Right. But still, a kid managed to do this. And they're not summoned to LA or to the jungle or to a pyramid in Antarctica. They're summoned to the suburbs.
Yeah, that reminds me a lot of Alien versus Predator Requiem.
Mm.
Yeah. Sorry, Decker.
Mm.
Anyway.
Already I have concerns about this film.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if I ever did actually see that movie. But, yeah.
Let's see. The Predator cast includes Boyd Holbrook as Logan, Trevante Rhodes from Moonlight, Jacob Tremblay from Room and Wander, Keegan-Michael Kay from Tomorrowland, Olivia Munn from X-Men Apocalypse, Sterling Kane Brown from This Is Us, Alfie Allen from Game of Thrones, Thomas Jane from The Mist, Augusto Aguilera, Jake Busey, and Yvonne Strahovski from The Handmaid's Tale. Black, who wrote the script with his Monster Squad co-writer Fred Decker, has confirmed that the film remains in continuity from the... Yes.
Not his friend.
No, they're not friends. They're not related. They've never had sandwiches together, so no. Has confirmed that the remains in the continuity of the first two movies and isn't a full reboot of the series. He said there is a reference in the script as to why the film has a singular title and that the film will be carrying an R rating. It will be coming out around September 14th and, in theaters. And if you're in the Toronto Film Festival, then you'll be seeing it a week before in September 6th.
Okay. Hi, Tara.
What
do you think of the Ultimate Predator? I don't think she has much to say.
No.
I think it looks more like she's like, food?
She's upset at me that I ate the entire ham sandwich. It had mustard on it. You weren't going to want it anyway.
She'll still complain.
I am very sorry.
So, the Ultimate Predator, that kind of, it's like the Super Predator from Predators, and I'm wondering, I thought I read something somewhere about this might be like in between the Predator 2 and Predators, but I don't know if that's true or not. But it's like you got the Super Predators and you got the Ultimate Predator. The Super Predators are just like another race of predators, whereas the Ultimate Predator is genetically enhanced with other creatures' DNA, which makes me wonder why the hell would predators do that? They just have technology, and they're like, nah, fuck it, GMOs, bitch.
And then, of course, you have Super Mega Ultra Force Hyper Dark Predator thing.
Oh boy,
why?
That'll be in the next movie.
Don't give them ideas, creepy. Trust me, when I did my Ghostbusters podcast years ago, I was saying, yeah, Ghostbusters 3 is never going to happen. Well, the only reason why they would bring Ghostbusters back in relevance is if they did a remake of it. And guess what? Like 2 years later, the remake came out, and Kevin still blames me to this day that it was that podcast that caused the remake to exist.
The Terror of Death dropped $5 and said, "You think that it is Fox making the bad Predator films, but it was I, Dio."
Yes, it was Dio who did it.
Oh boy. So yeah, Predator.
The jerk says Predator singing the penis song.
No, we don't. We do not want
that would just have the Predator would have to like be sneaking around in the trees and like zoom in and infrared and catch you singing the penis song at one point, and then it would just start mimicking that. While it's killing people, like we'll want some candy on the train. He's just be like, penis, penis, penis.
I'm a bad person, aren't I? Because I actually want that scene to happen now. I mean, if they're gonna put this Predator in the fucking suburbs anyway, they might as well go whole hog and screw it up that much more.
Oh boy! Oh crap! We got like 114 viewers. I wasn't even paying attention to the amount of viewers.
Hey, that's awesome. Thank you so much.
Also, Hollow Man says we did get Ghostbusters 3. It came straight to PlayStation and Xbox. He's not
I've heard
wrong.
that the Ghostbusters video game was pretty much, it followed up Ghostbusters 2 with the same characters and all that. And wow, I am lagging like hell on my screen right now. This is weird.
Really? Not here. Not on my end.
That's good because my screen, I'm like get a little watery delay, like I'm in Jello, and it's not quite as fun as I thought it would be.
Yeah. Michael Quinn says Predator: The Last Airbender, which no, that probably wouldn't work because I mean the Avatar is supposed to bring balance into the world. The Predator just goes around kills people and aliens.
Now I'm imagining a sort of lone wolf and cub scenario where a predator travels around with an airbender avatar and they fight the Fire Nation together. I just created someone's fanfic for them, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
But in terms of bad movies about the Predator and such, there's always the one thing that comes up when it comes to movies in general is the book is always better. And we can test that with the Predator.
Yes, we can. Because if you are not excited about the movie, then don't you worry, because books are always better. There is actually a movie tie-in novel that's going to be coming out in honor of the Predator, and it's going to be called Predator: Hunters and Hunted. So, who wants to read this one?
I'll take
It's a
it.
prequel novel. It's
Sure.
not of the movie. It explains the movie because I realized after the fact, oh crap.
Be warned, spoilers ahead for The Predator, Hunters and Hunted. Thank you for letting us know that. Article that is about predators and predator hunters and hunted. Everyone's favorite alien hunter is set to make his big screen return in Shane Black's The Predator. It makes sense. Black should be the man to resurrect this particular 80s icon. We're not sure why. In addition to Black's healthy filmography of writing, directing classic action thrillers, Lethal Weapon, The Last Boy Scout, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, etc., he also played the Jungle Hunter's first on-screen victim, Hawkins, in the original Predator. The Predator will bring new additions to the franchise mythology, such as the hunters upgrading their abilities through DNA splicing. Because it's cool, damn it! But at its core, it's still a story about a group of soldiers facing off against the universe's most lethal taxidermist.
And their kid.
And their kid. And their little dog, too. For many, the Predator series is something of a mixed bag, with the original considered a classic, while opinions on Predator 2 and Predators can be split. There's also Alien vs. Predator and its sequel Requiem, which are both movies that many agree exist. Time will tell which end of the spectrum the Predator falls on, but for those aficionados looking to get their feet wet, Titan Books have just published a prequel tie-in novel dubbed Hunters and Hunted by author James A. Moore.
Yay.
The book details the efforts of a group of soldiers called the Reapers, who are part of Project Stargazer, a government task force seeking to capture a predator and study its technology. Sadly for them, the government has lost faith in the operation since the last sighting of the creatures was way back in Predator 2. While those in charge of Stargazer struggle to keep it afloat, the sudden appearance of an especially brutal predator gives the Reapers the chance to put their training to good use. But it will be an even tougher fight than they expected. I would hope so, actually.
It's like, yeah, that was easy. We got one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy. To catch a predator.
Movies that many agree exist. Yes.
Okay. So. Yeah. Oh, good. I'm back to more real time-ish. Creepoween TV dropped £4 and says, good stuff.
Yes.
With a
Thank you very much.
Emoji little.
So, yeah. So if you're not satisfied with the fact that we're getting a Predator movie that's going to have a little kid, then don't you worry, because there's going to be a movie tie-in, and maybe they won't even have the kid, and it's going to be involving with a group of soldiers and some kind of government conspiracy. So that's good, I guess.
It's kind of, I guess.
I mean, I guess it's a slight improvement.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
sorry.
basically it. That's basically it for our Predator news. So yes, we already
There's
covered
still
that.
more to talk about with sandwiches, though.
Oh, really? How so?
What would be the Predator's favorite sandwich?
Oh wow, that's a really good question.
Yes, it is. So we can't possibly answer it on our own. We're going to have to put this one up to the Live and Wired chat.
Oh boy.
As in, no, don't just keep saying sandwiches and types as predator sandwiches. That's not what we're talking about here. We got a Twitter poll going. Jesus. Twitter poll. Twitter poll. Okay, so the Twitter poll for this Live and Wired is, what would be the Predator's favorite sandwich? We've got 4 options. Reuben, a patty melt, a chicken salad sandwich, or an Oreo. Got this poll a little earlier than usual. I think I'll increase the time limit to 45 minutes.
Okay, sounds great.
And I was too late to throw this in there, but I'm going to add it anyway. Keebler Elf sandwich.
Yeah, and we're not talking about the cookie. We're talking about like a predator catches a Keebler elf, makes it into a sandwich, and eats it.
So that's 45 minutes starting now on Twitter at Decker Shado.
And as usual, I will post it in the chat.
As soon as I give it to her.
Yes.
Copy link address. Yeah, I know how to Live and Wired.
I mean, it's been almost 20-something episodes at this point, so
it helps.
Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you. And now I'm going to post it into the chat. So there you go, guys. You got 45 minutes.
Okay, and I want to say this relatively early, as it's related to some stuff we were talking about in the last episode, and it's sort of correcting, but not quite, the Spyro the Dragon thing.
Oh, yes, that's right. So, yeah, there's been a lot of the talks about Spyro the Dragon. So I'm sure everybody knows that there were talks about, like, releasing the very first Spyro the Dragon, and then the rest of it, you had to download it, I believe, for DLC. And not a lot of people were happy about that. So in response to that, Spyro will be delayed until November, and people are still pissed off about it. And I'm going to just cut this off. There we go. So go ahead, Decker. Why don't you read this off?
Okay, Spyro Reignited Trilogy will not make its release date. Activision announced today that the Trilogy package will now arrive on November 13th, which is just about 2 months later than its previously announced September 21st launch. In a statement, developer Toys for Bob said the game needed more love and care, so a delay was necessary. Everyone here at Toys for Bob is so proud to be reigniting the original Spyro trilogy after all these years. Toys for Bob co-studio head Paul Yan said in a blog post, "We're deeply committed to getting these games right, so we've decided to move the release date of Spyro Reignited Trilogy to November 13th, 2018. I really hope that you would be rescuing dragons and scorching rhinos sooner, but the trilogy needs more love and care." Rhinox. Not scorching rhinos. That's illegal. In November, when you're exploring the Dragon Realms, Avalar, and the Forgotten Worlds, we know you'll agree the extra time was worth the wait. The Reignited Trilogy comes with an updated version of Spyro the Dragon, Spyro 2 Retired and Spyro Year of the Dragon. At Comic-Con in July, it was announced that Stuart Copeland, the original composer, is returning for the trilogy. Copeland was also the drummer for the Police.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And it's totally coincidence that this also happens to be around the same time that they are confirming that it's not just going to be the first game on the disc. It's actually going to be all 3.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for being so considerate.
Totally
Yay.
coincidental that it happened to coincide with the need for a little bit of a delay just to make things right.
Right.
Yes. I mean, thank God we didn't go the Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5 route, in which we only had the tutorial and the rest of it you had to download as a patch.
Well, they were kind of pushed up against the wall there because they really did not have any more time that they could own the rights to that franchise.
That is very true, yeah. So, hey, at least they're acknowledging the fact that, hey, we screwed up. Now we need to get a little bit more time so that we can be able to treat it with the love and attention that it deserves.
Yeah, so I mean, I wish that worked when you had Nintendo games that were coming out with only half the game on the cartridge. But oh well. At least it worked eventually. I'm happy for everyone to be getting the full game. And the people upset that they're not getting the game sooner, sorry, but you're getting something better that'll have, resale value. There you go.
And it's only 2 months. It's not like it's another year, like, a certain indie game that was delayed 4 times and then it came out and it was a piece of crap. And they're still not done with all of the additional things that they were kickstarted. I'm
It's,
going to
it's
my
like
next.
the
I'm
uh,
going to.
the version of Dark Souls Remastered that was supposed to come to the Switch around the same time as the other versions. Then it got delayed to summer 2018, and they recently announced that it's going to be coming out in October. And Spawn Wave said on Twitter, "That's my favorite month of summer."
Yeah. I was referring, that there's that, and also to our next segment, which everybody likes to shit on Mighty Number 9. Remember the time in which Capcom was no longer making Mega Man games, and the fans were clamoring for more, and Keiji Inafune had left Capcom to create his own company, and he did that $4 million Kickstarter in which he was going to bring back Mighty Number 9. It was going to be the next big hit for classic platformers, and it sucked. And there were still some features and some games and ports that were not released, including the 3DS port. And if you're one of the people who were unfortunate enough to, give to the Kickstarter and you're waiting for the 3DS port, you're not going to get it anytime soon. I'm going to ask you guys, if you don't know, what do you think is the percentage of progress that they made for the 3DS port? And the game's been out for 2 years already.
39%.
Well, Creepy, you're the closest one. The correct answer is 0. 0 progress has been made on the 3DS ports.
Ooh, that's
bad. And you know what? It's not like, if it was a kick in the balls.
Oh, it's only $4 million. What are they supposed to do with that?
Yeah. It was a kick in the balls in which whoever got the Famicom version, they got a manual that was actually bigger than the box.
Oh.
But no, now we have the 3DS port of Mighty Number 9, and it's not even close to being finished because it hasn't even been made yet. So, will Mighty Number 9 ever see release on 3DS as originally promised? It seems very doubtful as of right now, and there's been 0 talk of progress made in months, if not years.
Aaron Schubert says I actually guessed 0%.
Well, congratulations.
And we don't actually do giveaways and prizes on this channel. Like every other YouTube channel does it. What's wrong?
I know.
Ryan Solano wants to know real quick, Decker, when are you coming back to Los Angeles with Creepy? I wasn't there the first time.
I'm not certain. I went and I did my driving test and I failed, so I don't have my license yet. So yeah.
I'm so sorry.
They started off with the parallel parking, which I had absolutely never practiced, so I didn't really have an idea what I was doing. And also the Jeep I was in, the wheels are too large for the Jeep itself, so I can't get the best turning radius out of it.
Oh.
So it's just I was fumbled around on it. Was told, nope, you failed, and then that's it. Just drive right back to the start and just be like, okay, thanks for the $40. Bye.
Yeah.
Try again next week.
It sucks. Parallel parking sucks in general.
Yeah, it's one of those things that I have managed to pull off in the past, but I avoid it if at all possible.
It would have been a lot easier in the other car, the one that I've been fixing up to try and make road legal. I fixed a lot of stuff on it already. It still needs a rear view mirror, which you can see in the Halloween 5 review. If you look when I'm screaming, "What?" you see the windshield's cracked and there's no rear view mirror. But yeah, so I've fixed the lights of it. It's now got actual reverse lights and side markers and an interior light. It's got a light in the trunk and on the license plate. It's so nice.
Awesome.
And I fixed the turn signal multifunction lever because that was busted to hell.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that sounds great. Anyway, so let's get back to the tragedy. The CEO of Abstraction Games, Ralph Egas, explained the situation up to where he parted ways with the game. We had a deal in place that partially involved royalties, a deal we had to agree in a very short amount of time due to the Kickstarter campaign requirements and the handheld platform version being a stretch goal, etc. At that time, we thought this was a great opportunity, but it was risky. We weren't involved with the engine software ourselves, although we've been engaging with them in the past on other projects, just not on this particular project directly. Due to a number of issues dealing with concept abstraction games backed out of the project. According to eGas, zero progress was made on the port as Concept failed to provide intermediate build and source code until 3 or 4 months before they suddenly went into launch. Ouch.
Ouch.
This is where abstraction bowed out, and the game moved over completely to engine software. Egas talked more about the shift. Engine software told me about the shiny new deal they had just signed, to which I responded, well, good for you, I guess. I hope you know what you're doing. As you might have... Yeah, go ahead.
Real quick, we got a $5 super chat from Tom Ferrara, who says, Friday the 13th Part 6 is my favorite in the franchise of.
Awesome.
That's great.
Yeah, thank you very much. And yeah, that was Jason Lives, which was pretty damn awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It was the one where Jason lived, or was not living but not dead.
Well, he was dead but alive.
Would not have made a better title, though.
Undead Jason. Like, yeah, he's got maggots all over him. He's been in the ground for a while, but you know what? He's back to killing people.
Exactly.
Sure.
You know, like that should have been the full title. Jason lives. Well, not lives, but is not dead. He's been in the ground, has maggots in him, but he's walking around again.
Personally,
That should have been the full thing.
I like 7 a bit more, but 6 is still really damn good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not going to read any more of this because this is just sad.
It's just, I'm sorry, but this is, I'm not even a fan of this game, but reading this hurts. You know, that's how bad it is.
Yeah.
I participated in the Kickstarter for, that was some of my 4 million.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it was delay, and I'm just remembering like the start of it, and it's like, "Hi, I am Mr. Megaman, Keiji Inafune, and welcome. I'm at Comic-Con. Look, I got the hat, I got everything. I'm walking past these things. Nostalgia, by the way. We have dreams. We have aspirations. We can do this with your money. Please give." And it's like, we've done this forever. We've made a bunch of these games. We know what we're doing. They didn't.
Yeah. Now let's see who's like a fangirl crying, an anime fangirl crying on prom night.
And Tom Ferreira dropped $2 and says Part 5 is least favorite. And it is for a lot of people because no Jason.
Yeah. And I mean, like, and this is, you know, like, I'm going to get shit, I know, for, you know, kind of tooting my horn and yours and Decker's as well. But I mean, like, when you basically make a review series, you know, on YouTube that you upload every week on a shoestring budget, in some cases, literally shoestring or fishing wire. But, you know, when you do this and then a company that has experience in the video game field gets $4 million, not from like a bank or from investors, but from the people who grew up playing their games, and they flush it down the toilet in such a fuck you way, you know, it's just kind of infuriating. And I think I should stop now, because otherwise the only thing that's going to come out of my mouth is a stream of consciousness that will be mostly swear words.
Don't worry. We understand your pain, Creepy. Definitely.
Although I do know some people who have made a lot of money off of YouTube doing nothing but that. So
Alien J. Ahmed is asking, what's Creepy's channel? And I believe that's That Long-Haired Creepy Guy?
Yes, That Long-Haired Creepy Guy. There is a hyphen between long and haired.
And if you try and search for it, Google likes to auto-complete it to That Long-Haired Creepy Guy Scooby-Doo. that appears before That Long-Haired Creepy Guy.
I did not know that happened, but okay, thank you, Decker. Apparently, Decker's done this before.
I always have to be like, okay, got to get the link for his channel to put it in the description. Oh yeah, I got a link to his channel in the description, by the way, and Patricia's.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. It's about time he started doing that, by the way.
I do that in each of these episodes, except for the ones that you write.
Well, all right. So I guess that's pretty much done with that part. So I guess we can talk about some other news. Which, should we wait until later? Because I found this out last night, and Decker, you were just flat out like, I want to make a title card out of this because it's so hilarious.
Oh yeah. Oh crap! This is surprising that we got so many viewers because I forgot to frickin' tweet this and put it out everywhere and post it everywhere. I'm an idiot.
Okay.
He's saying this like it comes as a shock to us.
Like no one's seen the title card yet.
All right. Well, don't worry. We'll give you a little preview on what it's about. So here we go. Liam Neeson is going to be in a new action movie where he gets on revenge on somebody. Big surprise. But this time, instead of using his fists and his martial arts skills, he's going to use a snowplow driver. A snowplow driver. When I read this, I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
And I will clear a path. I will block your drive with a 3-foot pile of scummy snow.
This sounds like a parody of these types of movies.
Yes.
Also, I'm going to say it.
Epic Jason X9000 says, "I'm an idiot. That should be the next Live and Wired episode name."
I vote in favor of this.
The Terror of Death just dropped $10 saying, "Decker, creepy before we move on as a suggestion for a month-long review marathon. How about The Fall of Jim Henson? Month-long review of all Jim Henson movies."
Ooh, that would be fun.
Let's see. I know there's The Dark Crystal. There's Labyrinth. I mean, excluding all of the Muppet movies. And there's one that came.
Oh God, Alien's like, "I will find you and I will plow you."
Thank you. Yes, because I'm looking at the title of this, Hard Powder, and I'm like, that sounds like a drug. That sounds like a movie about cocaine, or it sounds like a porno.
And time for
and I know I'm
asking, "Where's Chibi Thulu at?"
Oh, yes. He's right here.
And I'm wondering if they mean the plushie or the voice.
Oh.
And working title dropped £2 saying, "Sounded like a Family Guy joke."
Okay, I'll give them that one. That does sound like I don't even watch Family Guy, but yeah, that sounds like a Family Guy joke.
Sure.
Oh man.
All right, let's read to see what this amazing movie's about. So, who hasn't had a turn yet?
Well, Patricia, I think it's Decker's turn again. Decker's turn again.
Okay, please, Decker, read this.
35 years after earning an Oscar nomination for Schindler's List.
15. There's a one in it.
I can read. I've got eyes. I'm not an idiot.
Have we mentioned that Decker has to wear his glasses while he's driving, like all the time? I'm starting to wonder if he shouldn't wear them, just period. Join the club, Decker.
Okay. So, Liam Neeson took a turn toward the action-packed when, as ex-CIA agent and doting dad Brian Mills, he promised the men who kidnapped his daughter in Taken that he would find them and kill them. Now, 10 years and even more revenge flicks than all kinds of look the same later, Neeson is feeling vindictive yet again in Hans-Peter Mullen's Hard Powder. But this time, he's got a snowplow. And as Deadline reports, an official release date, February 8th, 2019. According to the film's official synopsis, Neeson plays Nels Coxman, a nose-to-the-grindstone family man. Laura Dern plays his wife, who is beloved by the residents of his Colorado resort town because he is the one who keeps the winter roads clear. One could argue that keeping roads snow-free is exactly what a snowplow operator is paid to do, but let's not mess with a good thing. Especially as Neeson's character seems willing to go way beyond the call of duty when, following the murder of his son at the hands of a ruthless drug lord, Coxman channels his inner huntsman and transforms from an ordinary man into a skilled killer as he sets out to dismantle the cartel, which in turn triggers a turf war between a maniacally unpredictable gangster known as Viking and a Native American gang boss. That sounds like a lot of words you might never expect or want to hear in a sentence together. Bear in mind that Hard Powder is a remake of Mallen's 2014 Norwegian film In Order of Disappearance. So it has worked before. More importantly, it may be the last time Neeson seeks on-screen vengeance. When asked about his action star status at the 2017 Toronto Films Festival, Neeson admitted he was ready to retire that mantle. Guys, I'm 60 fucking 5.
Well, that just means he's ready for an Expendables movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Also, they actually went with naming the character Coxman.
And Tom Top $2 says I meant the voice. I don't know what he meant that on. I think I got to scroll back up a bit. Sounds like a Family Guy. Oh, the voice. Oh, okay. Well, Dimeblade17 says the title sounds like a slasher villain with a cocaine problem.
He's not wrong.
I drive $10 super chat to say that. Huh,
Yeah.
Just trying to keep up with all that stuff because it feels bad for people to be like throw money at you and you're like, hi, thanks. I'm ignoring that.
Dreams NA. I have not watched The Meg as of yet.
The jerk. I plowed him 6 times.
I plowed him 6 times. Oh man, all of the jokes that you can make with this movie. This is a movie that needs to be given the MST3K treatment.
Epic Jason X9000 says Coxman. I don't even want to imagine what his wife's name is.
Coxman, the plowboy. He did this.
Oh boy.
Oh man.
You know what this reminds me of? I mean, this reminds me of Snow Day. You know that 2000 Nickelodeon movie?
Yes, I remember that. I think it was like somewhere in the back of my head while we were reading this. It was kind of pinging around.
Yeah, so basically, for those who don't know, it takes place in a snow day, and the main bad guy in the movie is the snowplow man, and he is supposed to be the one who gets rid of all the snow so that the kids can go back to school and prevent from having a snow day. And the kids are going up against him, saying that, you know, we deserve to have a snow day, and you're not welcome here and stuff like that. So, you know, it's kind of funny to think that now, about 18 years later, there's going to be an action movie where a guy is going to be killing off drug cartel with a snowplow.
Okay, two things.
Say if he was going to do it with the snowplow, but if he doesn't, I think it's a major missed opportunity.
Yeah, like a wood chipper.
Uh-huh.
And Tom Ferreira dropped $2 more asking, have you seen Marble Hornets?
No, I have not.
And I'm wondering if that was an autocorrect that messed up what they were trying to say, because I have no idea what Marble Hornets is.
Yeah.
I've never heard of it.
The jerk says Predator the Plow.
No.
Damn it, jerk.
Yeah. But yeah.
No, we're not going. No, we had the Predators, we had the sandwiches. Now moving on to snowplows with Liam Neeson.
Yes. Yeah. We've moved on from that.
Right. But yeah, two things. One, what did that kid do to earn the wrath of a drug cartel lord?
Okay, Patrick Johnson says Marble Hornets, a YouTube movie series about Slender Man.
Oh.
Okay. Interesting.
I guess it makes sense since the Slenderman movie is already out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah, everyone's chiming in now saying Marble Hornets is about Slenderman. So the lag has caught up to the chat, and they are letting us know very strongly.
Yes. But like one thing, what did that kid do to earn the wrath of a drug cartel lord? And two, is Nickelodeon just
here? I'm Predator Plow. That's my name. That name again. Wow.
Okay, yeah. Second thing, is Nickelodeon just becoming the thing that everyone goes to rip off and get movie ideas from? Because we already talked in another episode of this show how M. Night Shyamalan stole the idea for The Sixth Sense from an episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark? And now someone else is getting an idea for an action thriller movie from Nickelodeon Snow Day.
Hey, you could always just make a drug and sex fueled crime drama with all kinds of crazy shit going on based on the Three Little Pigs.
I think they already did that. I think the last episode of Tales from the Crypt is sort of like a darkened telling of the Three Little Pigs.
Patricia, you gave me that article. Show it.
All right. So, okay, I guess, well, technically, we are not going to be talking about Tales from the Crypt because there's no new information about that other than the fact that we know that M. Night Shyamalan is going to be the executive producer. But there are talks about... Yes, I know, what a twist. But there are talks currently about 2 anthology TV series that are going to be coming out. One that we already did talk about briefly a while ago, but there is some slightly new information that we can cover. So, I'm sure that some of you guys already know, if you watched us a while back, that there is going to be a reboot on the Twilight Zone. And right now, it's been reported that it's going to be moving over to production. And I'm sure this is going to be really well for Jordan Peele's, reputation because he just released, I think it was like Produced or something, the KK's Klansman or something, and I hear that that's doing really well. So, in addition to that and Get Out, I think that he's doing pretty well. So now that he's been called in to produce the Twilight Zone reboot. And also there's been talks about him even being the host of it. So
Kyle Edwards just dropped $2 saying, Decker, can you review The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings? That was all one word.
Mm-hmm.
So, or maybe it was The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. I don't know. It was right at the end, so maybe it was truncated. Maybe I don't know. But yes, I can. I got to get to that. It's going to have to be like one of those in the series every month, kind of like I was doing with Star Wars for a while up until everything got all crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, Twilight Zone.
Yes.
I love that song by 2 Unlimited.
Yeah. Out of all the reboots and revivals and whatnot hitting TV in the near future, the project that excites this guy the most is writer-director Jordan Peele's upcoming reboot of The Twilight Zone. Not only am I a major fan of the original TV series and the 80s revival, but Peele is one of the top horror directors I keep tabs on following his Oscar-winning horror film.
A red spark here says, "Get your hands off The Twilight Zone, you damn dirty reboot!" And Alien J. Ahmed dropped £2 saying, "Plow me."
Tom Ferrara dropped $5 and said, Marvel Hornets is a series about Slender Man on YouTube, except he's called The Operator. That's 9 hours long total, 132 episodes, and 3 seasons. Wow. That's a lot to watch, but still, it sounds cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've watched more in less time.
Yeah.
That 11 and a half hours worth of apes.
Yeah.
That was back when I still had a job, too. The hell? Why am I so far behind? Creepy. Whip me more. Kyle Edwards dropped £2 saying, hashtag the summer of Middle Earth.
Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah.
There's like 3 Hobbit movies, 3 Lord of the Rings movies. They'll probably make more.
Now we're back on the Twilight Zone, and Jacob Kennedy's like, get away from that great show, you bitch!
Also, Decker, I've told you before, if you want me to start doing that again, I have to charge you for it now.
The Terror of Death dropped $5 more saying, I have to ask, are we getting a new reboot of the Outer Limits series? Please, please, because we need to have both of them back.
Not yet, but don't worry. There's another reboot of another anthology series, which I'll get to in a minute.
Okay.
Anyway, so...
Oh, $5 more. Perrin Schubert says, roses are red, dirt is brown, Decker's in bed, here comes the clown. Oh, God. Dropped £2 more. What are your thoughts on Never Hike Alone? I've never heard of that. But it sounds like... thoughts on that. Thinks of never hiking alone. I can hike alone. I just need to bring my gun.
And then trip and hurt yourself with it.
God.
Even if it never goes off, he can still trip and hurt himself with a gun. It cannot be loaded, and he'll still hurt himself.
Goddamn metal frame.
Nerdbane said, "Watch out, Peele. That franchise is cursed."
All right, I'm just hoping with the Twilight Zone that they would have it. I feel like a lot of the remakes of the Twilight Zone, the new Twilight Zone things, a lot of them kind of fall flat compared to the original, and I think that that's sort of because of something accidental about the original, where television back there, you really couldn't show a lot of blood and guts and you couldn't do a lot of the easy scares.
Mm-hmm.
So they went far psychological, and that's kind of what the original series is known for. And it's really just the stuff that gets to you over time. Very innocent, normal kind of things. And then you find out, no, you're in the Twilight Zone, bitch.
Yep.
And it was like, holy shit.
And the problem with that is that now that you can get away with more easy scares, they take the easy way out instead of that slow burn, that psychological horror that starts off making you feel safe and making you feel like, I can watch this. This isn't going to.
If you catch it on, like, and you didn't see the intro, you could just think it's just a normal kind of slice of life sort of show.
And then, you start, and then it just starts building. You start, well, this is still okay. I can watch this. And then halfway, 35 minutes into it, you're like, I will never sleep again. I will never sleep again. I will never sleep again.
And Tom Ferrara dropped $5 more saying it scrolled past it. Come on.
It's a Friday the 13th fan film that stars Tom Matthews.
Yes, the Never Hike Alone.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have heard of that. I have, actually, and it's supposed to be really good, in fact.
So, I guess I gotta see it. Dang it.
Yeah.
There's also The Confessions of Fred Krueger is another one that's been suggested for me to check out quite often.
Yeah. I do remember another problem with, bringing back the Twilight Zone is that when they don't go for the easy scares, they try to recreate the classic episodes that, people just swear by and love, but they just sort of end up falling flat. It's.
I did not just fart. It's a chair.
But
Anyway.
the idea in and of itself of bringing, instead of rebooting, just bring the Twilight Zone back and keep it going again.
Oregon Miracle is just like, Decker just fucking farted.
And the idea of it bringing it back, that it's not a bad thing. I just think they need to really focus on what made the original series stand out so much and what made it good, what made it great. Instead of trying to, go for the easy way out, they should try to think about what really worked for that show.
Oh God, Gunmaster X11 says, stop farting, Decker. Ah, and then the jerk says, keep farting on me.
Oh, wow.
Decker, the fart master.
There was also some talk about turning this into a GIF.
Great.
Satoshi Katsumoto, yes, I have seen the Beast Wars cartoon. It's my favorite Transformers show.
Awesome.
Yeah. Anyway,
and don't forget that they tried to do an attempt of being like a horror equivalent of the Twilight Zone back in the 70s called Night Gallery, and not a lot of people seem to remember that as fondly as the original.
Actually, I do like Night Gallery.
I remember things about Night Gallery, and it's got like a little cult following, and it's aged very well.
Decker and I actually watched an episode of Night Gallery one time while he was here, while we were filming together here once, and it's not bad.
Was that Godzilla versus Godzilla versus
Mothra month? Yeah.
Because it was like I went there for that, and before that I went there for the finale of the Summer of the Planet of the Apes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Also, did you watch the pilot or did you watch one of the episodes?
One of the episodes.
Oh, okay.
Tom Ferrara dropped $5 in Super Chat saying, have you seen Ultra Q? It's basically Godzilla or Kaiju plus the Twilight Zone. And unfortunately, no, it sounds awesome. It's like thing I like, put together, I really like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like video games and cheesesteak. You have ruined your game system and now can't eat this. Damn it. Damn it, I did not think this through.
That one statement there at the end is pretty much how everything Decker has.
Oh crap.
I did not think this through. Yeah, I'm familiar with that statement, Decker.
Yeah. I don't think we really need to read too much of this article because I think for the most part, the only thing that is discussing about is just that, oh, it's in production right now. But I might as well tell you about the other anthology series that's going to be coming out.
Also,
Which
apologies. We kind of
Retired
got
Troll
off track.
King. Retired Troll King dropped $5 super chat saying the black and white also added a creepiness to the original Twilight Zone. Plus, Rod Serling was a genius.
I resent that. I was not in the original Twilight Zone series. Or if I was, I sure as hell haven't been paid for it.
Creepy, you weren't even born yet.
Like I said.
You cannot get compensation for something that you were not in, especially if you were like negative something years old.
Well, fine, if you're just going to be logical about it.
That's what I'm here for.
Hey, I've gotten copyright claims from people who said, hey, you use this music that I made in this album. And I looked and I'm like, this album you're saying this music from this album that I used in this movie. Actually, this riff of this movie that I did, this movie came out in like 1940. You were born in 1985. You made this music in 2015. Note the discrepancies. Yeah, you get all kinds of lovely, fun claims with copyright and people asking for money. So, yeah, creepy. Go ahead. Hey, whoever owns Twilight Zone, you owe me money for saying that there's creepiness in your show.
Yeah. By the way, the jerk says, Decker Shado, the internet personality with the best gas.
Yeah, it's a leather. It's got like it's a little black leather chair. It makes little noises when you go like this.
Yeah.
Also, Patrick Johnson says, creepy knows an elder god. I doubt time travel is out of his reach. I will neither confirm nor deny. Anyway, Patricia, once again, we've gotten off track. I'm sorry.
It's okay. All right, so here's the thing. So there was an anthology.
Creepy went back in time thanks to Decker's farts. Now we're going into the fractured butthole territory.
The fractured butthole.
Fractured butthole tales.
As the second South Park game, the sequel to the Stick of Truth, the fractured butthole.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right, so stating before about the other anthology series. So this is based off of an anthology movie that came out in the 80s. And I'm not talking about the Twilight Zone movie. I'm referring to, if I'm just going to pull it up for a second, Creepshow. Yes, Woo-hoo! Creepshow, the anthology movie from the 80s, is going to be rebooted as a TV series.
And everyone keeps telling me to review Creepshow. Well, not everyone, but you know what I mean. I'm being hyperbolic. But yeah, I never realized until I saw this article, oh crap, I already did see at least part of Creepshow because I definitely remember that story.
Yeah. So, all right, Creepy, I guess it's your turn to read, so go ahead.
Alrighty then.
Unless this is one of those instances where the article has a picture that has nothing to do with the article. That happens sometimes.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, it doesn't seem to be so far. In this strange alternative of a universe we live in today, we need every distraction possible. So we applaud the news that a new version of the Creepshow anthology will soon be coming to a TV near you. Who can forget the majesty of the macabre known as Creepshow, the 1982 movie featuring stories written by Stephen King and directed by George Romero. It was popular enough for Hollywood to return to the formula in 1987 for Creepshow 2 and again in 2006 for Creepshow 3.
Creepy. Tom Ferrara dropped $5 in Super Chat asking, what's Chibi Thulu afraid of?
Well, he doesn't like Jim. But beyond that, I'm not permitted to say at this point, but who knows what the future will bring. Excuse me.
The Spice Girls.
Damn it, you spoiled it.
No, I didn't.
Says, hands up his ass.
Creepy reading Creepshow news. Yep.
How serendipitous.
Anyway, MovieWeb.com reports that Greg Nicotero, I believe I pronounced that right.
Nicotero.
Nicotero. Okay, thank you. The Walking Dead will turn Creepshow into an anthology series for TV in 2019. Nicotero will also direct and keep an eye on the overall creative elements of the show, the website reports. It appears the series will be shown, I think, on
The
Shudder.
series was shown.
A subscription-based streaming service that specializes in horror content. Each episode will feature an original story with a different director. Creepshow is a project very close to my heart, Nicotero says in a statement. It's one of those titles that embraces the true spirit of horror, thrills and chills celebrated in one of its truest art forms, the comic book come to life. I'm honored to continue the tradition in the spirit which it was created. Why am I immediately uncomfortable with that, with everything that he was quoted as saying?
Yeah. I'm actually really interested about this because I do know about Creepshow a little bit, in which it does feature like a couple of stories, and each of them are done differently. And it's tradition with an anthology series. Depending on which it is, which one, that they're all
Jake
done by
Kennedy's
a different.
Not happy about that news. He's like, fuck streaming services.
Yeah, and it's Shudder, which is the same streaming service that is going to be featured, I believe, in Joe Bob's new show, which we did talk about a while ago. That Joe Bob, who was the host of Monster Vision, is doing a new series. He premiered a marathon of horror movies. I think it was Friday the 13th, and now it became so successful that he's going to be having his own series exclusive in Shudder. But the next episode is not going to come out for a few more months.
Tom Ferreira dropped $2 and says Deadpool 2 is on.
Deadpool 2 in Shudder.
Wait, you mean like just on his TV right now? Just like by the way, I'm not watching this anymore. Deadpool 2.
Possibly. Let's see. Nexon Sci-Fi says, did you hear about the RoboCop remake using the old suit? Yeah, we actually did talk about the RoboCop remake. Was it the last episode or the episode before?
I think it was the last episode.
Yeah, I think so. So yeah, we did talk about that there is going to be a RoboCop reboot that is supposed to reboot the entire series and ignore the reboot that already happened a few years ago. The one that was PG-13.
Right.
So yes, we did talk about that. So anyway, Creepshow. So let's see how many anthology series is coming out so far. So there's the Twilight Zone, Tales from the Crypt, the Are You Afraid of the Dark TV movie, Goosebumps 2, and now Creepshow, the TV series. So that's 5 anthology series that's going to be coming out in roughly a year, which is insane to me. Like, when was the last time that an anthology series was prominent in television?
It feels like the 80s and 90s was when anthology shows had their heyday, because I feel like when the 2000s hit, they were going out of style, and it's only just now that it seems like they're trying to bring them back.
What about would the CBS series Tell Me a Story fall under that?
Yes, absolutely. That is also an anthology series. It's actually a new anthology series that is not based off of a remake. Watch next episode. We're going to be talking about that. There's a remake of Beyond Belief Fact or Fiction going to be coming out. I'm going to say it right now. It's going to happen eventually.
Right. But yeah, there is going to be a anthology series based on, I believe, fairy tales, like the classic Grimm fairy tales.
Correct. So, Decker, why don't you read us this one?
Okay. Tell Me a Story, CBS's all-access upcoming psychological thriller series based on classic fairy tales like The Three Little Pigs and Little Red Riding Hood, will launch, appropriately enough, on Halloween, Wednesday, October 31st. The launch date was announced today at CBS's TCA presentation.
I think it's just TCA.
That's what I thought too.
It's a TCA presentation date by Julie McNamara, Executive Vice President, Original Content, CBS All Access. New episodes of the 10-episode first season will be available on demand weekly each Thursday, exclusively for CBS All Access subscribers. How many times am I going to say CBS All Access?
It's an article. They have to. It's like with Walmart. Boy, it sure was nice of those Walmart employees to give us all those free Walmart drinks for saying Walmart so many times.
Series TCA presentation also included a sneak peek trailer. Watch it above. The panel was executive producer Kevin Williamson and cast members Billy Magnuson, David Ramirez, Dania Ramirez, Danielle Campbell, Dorian Missick, and Davy Santos. Whew, I can read. Tell Me a Story reimagines classic fairy tales as dark modern-day thrillers set in present-day New York City. The
Why
first
is it
season of the
always New
serialized
York?
drama will weave together the three little pigs, Little Red Riding Hood and Hansel and Gretel, into what CBS's All Access calls an epic and subversive tale of love, loss, greed, revenge, and murder. In addition to the actors of the panel, the cast of Telling a Story includes James Wolk, Michael Raymond James, Sam Yeager, Sabrina Guevara, and with Paul Wesley and Kim Cattrall. Okay. From Anderson to Liz Fres, okay, that's people. People worked on it. There's people.
Yes, people have worked on it. Yes,
And yeah, I watched the trailer, which is evidently was Three Little Pigs. And I gotta say, they didn't base much of it at all on the actual stories.
I don't think that was. I think they were mostly like inspired by the Grimm fairy tales, but I don't think they're gonna like stick like to the original source. I don't think there's gonna be people building houses of sticks and straw in New York City.
Well, still, there seemed to be no. The three pigs were just three masks that the people used to rob a bank.
Yeah.
And that was like all that involved anything. I'm like that. I was watching the trailer, like, okay, is there any kind of hint that the cop is some sort of big bad wolf in any way? Are they trying to fortify anything? No, nothing like that. Nothing. No, no, they're just doing blow and fucking hookers. Okay.
Real quick, Tom Ferrara dropped a $2 chat and said yeet.
Yeet.
Yeet. And the Terror of Death dropped $2 and said, damn you, exclusive streaming service. Damn you.
Yeah, sorry guys.
Nicole7891 says, not on the hair on my chinny chin chin.
and Origami Miracle said 3 little bank robbers.
Yeah, and they're wearing pig masks, very similar to Hotline Miami.
Yeah, Hotline Miami. That game frustrates the hell out of me. I'm not good at it. That's the problem.
All right, I think we've reached the 45-minute mark, so I guess I'm going to just quickly check on the results.
Troll King dropped $5 saying, I want an anthology of the Greasy Strangler. And I'm a little scared now.
Yeah. All right. Well, yes, time is up, and I'm actually going to click on what the results are for the poll.
Excellent. My money's on Oreo. Just saying.
You're correct. You're correct, by the way. So, according to the poll, 34% did say Oreo, 30% said patty melt, 23% said the Reuben, and 13% said chicken salad.
Poor chicken salad.
And we got a good amount of comments. Response to the poll, 61 votes. But, say, Super Crazy Mofo says everyone knows predators love Oreos. It's the cream.
Sure.
Van Morgan says melted patty. Leading Blind says, honestly, I think they'd want the Arby's off-menu sandwich with everything available from the meat selection. And Booper-Duper9211 says the Krabby Patty.
Sure. I mean, the predator will have to go underwater to get one, but sure, why not?
Simon David Fisher says, wasn't it established in the second film he had a thing for beef as it fed in a frozen meat plant? So maybe a sliced beef sandwich.
Okay. Yeah, so that is your results, and thank you so much. We'll wait until the next 2 weeks for our next Twitter poll, which will, I don't know, entail to something ridiculous as always. All right, so what were we? Oh yeah, that's right. We were discussing about the Three Little Pigs. So
Larsel82 dropped $5 saying, "Oh, they do, but that but didn't keep going with 1313 Mockingbird Lane, dumbasses."
Oh, Mockingbird Lane. Yeah, I remember that series.
I remember that was.
There's just a lot of E's and S's, and I can't see, so I don't know what I'm doing. Ow.
Ow.
Yeah.
The $5 super chat from Tom Ferreira says, I accidentally stepped on a spike once, and it partially went through my foot.
Ooh.
Like,
Wow.
hey, that's
Like,
Ouch.
ow. Also,
That
I
sounds-
do remember Mockingbird Lane. Yeah.
Yeah, that was supposed to be kind of like a revised version of the Munsters, wasn't it?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it didn't really last very long. You know, it's always kind of funny to see that debate about like which is superior. Is it the Munsters or the Addams Family?
credification. I just accidentally hit the wrong thing in the thing, and evidently the monetization was. We are not suitable for all advertisers, just so you know.
Oh,
Of
okay.
course.
So I gotta repair that. Request manual review. Thank you. I confirm my video is suitable for all advertisers. Yes, submit for review. Yes, thank you very much. I accidentally clicked the wrong thing and then went into to that, and I'm like, oh crap! And then I realized there was a little yield symbol over the monetization. I'm like, wait, hold the fuck up before I get back to the chat. There's something I gotta fix here. That's very important.
While he fixes that, we have a £1.99 comment from Working Title who says, "Premise, a Friends-like sitcom but with 80s killers." Yes.
I'd watch it.
And
Yes.
Freddy Krueger is
Wouldn't be too surprising, but
yeah. Everybody loves Jason, but Freddy Krueger is the roommate that nobody likes.
Yes, I can imagine that now. Leatherface.
Jason spends too long in the bath.
Yeah, let's see what Leatherface is out in the shed trying to do a DIY project. Let's see, maybe Pinhead is also helping him, you know, pulling out some of the nails so that they can be able to make something for.
Pinhead is the one who always has sex partners over and is making too much noise.
Sure,
Yeah.
we'll have that.
Okay. Let's see. The Terror of Death says obviously it's the Addams Family. They have 2 movies and a musical.
Yes, that's true. 2 movies
And Tom Ferrara dropped $2 and says they solved 2 Rubik's cubes.
Nice.
This is
Congratulations.
just some random stuff from Tom tonight.
Not to mention that there is the animated series that came out of that.
That's true.
And-
I really liked the animated series.
Yeah, me too.
Although that was the one where Pugsley and Wednesday had that weird S&M relationship with each other. Where
Yeah,
Wednesday was always, you know, like, and I'm not trying, and I'm not saying this just trying to mess with everybody. I mean, seriously, watch an episode of it. There are some really weird undertones in that version. I was kind of looking back on it. I'm like, how did this show get on the air? And this was ABC, no less. And ABC was notorious back in the early 90s for, you know, like their censorship and what they did and did not allow on Saturday morning cartoon shows. So
yeah, but to be fair, this was before they were acquired by Disney.
yeah, that's okay. Yeah, fair enough.
Patrick Johnson says, Michael, you're never going to get Lori to notice you if you don't talk to her. And Michael Myers just stares blankly. Audience laughs.
Origami Miracle says 50 Shades of Wednesday. Oh man,
My God.
that is so wrong, but it's so funny.
And you know, it kind of gave me it just reminded me that remember a few years ago, Christina Ricci, who actually played Wednesday in the movies, in one of her Halloween costumes, she actually dressed up as Morticia.
That is awesome.
It was great, by the way. You should actually check it out. It was awesome.
Awesome. Also, real quick, thank you, David Wright. Thank you very much. Okay, but go on.
Thank you so much.
I just wanted to throw that out there. Sorry.
And JL member is asking, how's it going, Decker? I don't know. Everything's crazy. Trying to have Patricia take control and like do a whole show because that's nice.
Yeah.
Patricia,
Decker,
I got an idea actually. Can you take my driver's license test for me?
sure. I just need to drive to Texas, grow my hair longer, get a beard, and be you, and I'll get your license. No problem. No problem at all.
All right.
Although, parallel parking, that's going to be a little bit tricky. I haven't done that in a while.
Ah,
Oh,
Sorry about that.
are you okay? Creepy. You're fine.
Hiccup. Just
Yeah. All right. So, what should we talk about next? Because we haven't talked about video games in a while.
Tom Ferrer dropped $5 and asked, "What do you think is the most evil slasher villain or horror villain in general?"
Ooh,
Most evil.
evil.
Possibly Pumpkinhead.
Yeah.
I mean, Pumpkinhead is always just like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking pull out just some heinous demon shit because I want someone dead. Thank you very much. And it's gonna destroy my soul to do this.
Yeah. That's a really good question. Yeah.
You both know what I think, and
Yeah, we
it's just
know.
like, yeah, the one that I refuse to talk about.
Yes. He who must not be named, the one who is small and with red hair and has funny one-liners.
Thank you. That's enough.
Okay. I don't.
Okay, so video game newsators.
Yes, let's do video game
There
news.
are people here who have been asking for a while about Doom. Doom.
Oh, Doom
Eternal.
Eternal, yes. Actually, funny thing, QuakeCon happened while we were preparing for the next episode of Live and Wired. So, in between, all the stuff from E3 and let's see what else was there. San Diego Comic-Con, now QuakeCon, and yes, there has been a lot of stuff that was featured, which was Doom Eternal. But we'll get to that in a minute. But in the meantime. Let's see what other I think the biggest video game news that everybody wants us to know about is what are our thoughts about the upcoming Super Smash Brothers characters for Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. So I'm
real quick, I'm sorry.
Sure. Go ahead.
Terror of Death dropped $5 and said, "We were all on crack in the 80s and 90s. No one knows how have the things that were on in those decades actually got onto television." So
yeah, that's very true. All right. Well, let's
continue. About
Smash Brothers. Yes.
Smash Brothers. Thank you. Yeah.
All right. So, Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. There's been updates. So the characters that have been revealed are, let's see. There's Simon Belmont and Richter from the Castlevania series. There's Chrom from Fire Emblem games. There's Dark Samus from Metroid Primes 2 and 3. There is King K. Rool from Donkey Kong Country, and there have been a couple of others, which one of them was actually pretty dark. And they actually did show about
Nerdbane dropped $5 and said, "Don't kink shame Wednesday and Pugly's completely non-incestuous bondage play."
No.
You're gonna kink shame that?
No, never. Not in your dreams. Anyway, so I'll probably have to pull up an article that actually doesn't show a video, but yeah, I'm actually curious. Did you guys see the Super Smash Brothers premiere? There we go. The Super Smash Brothers Ultimate video presentation, and did you see the new characters that were announced?
Oh yeah, and there was no Waluigi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm holding out hope for Waluigi, not because I got some investment in Waluigi. Personally, I'm not really part of the Waluigi club, but I feel bad for the Waluigi club at this point because they are trying so hard and asking, please, Waluigi, just want to play as this guy, and there's just no hint. And I'm thinking, like, it would be really nice if, like, the day the game came out, they also said, by the way, Waluigi's in this.
Yeah. We have another $5 comment from Creepy is afraid of. I'm not gonna say the name. Ha 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 ha. Sorry, I couldn't resist. So, yeah. For the sake of help, not freaking creepy out.
The Mad Groper saying they freaking killed Luigi, and that's true.
Yeah, they did. I mean, they basically, like, the Grim Reaper came and just, like, slashed Luigi until his ghost came out.
Luigi's lifeless corpse is lying on the ground. Eyes white, mouth open, tongue on floor, just and Luigi's ghost is floating above him, just looking down and like, oh.
I'm dead.
Also, Dimeblade17 says, "Decker, make Creepy do a Child's Play crossover with you. Love you, Creepy." You all just want to see me suffer, don't you?
That's half the fun of the internet.
I think Patricia is in on this. I can see that smile of yours. I know.
No, of course not.
Just
I didn't read off the monster's name just so that you wouldn't be freaked out. It's not my fault that everybody else wants to see you squirm. Anyway, but yeah, that's anyway, that trailer. Oh my god! So, I mean, pretty much every character that I've ever wanted to see as a Super Smash Brothers game that hasn't been there yet, it was like it fulfilled all of my expectations.
It's
I was
finally there.
Yes, I was dying to see Simon Belmont and King K. Rool in a video game finally, and another character in Metroid. I mean, I know a lot of people were saying like, "Oh, what about SAX?" But come on, SAX is the same colors palette as Samus, so it wouldn't have made too much of a difference anyway. So Dark Samus made sense.
SAX pretty much has the same powers as Samus. It's the same color as Samus. It's just like the eyes are different.
Yeah, and you can't really see the eyes when you're playing, Super Smash Brothers anyway. So there's no point to that. I mean, if you want to add more characters in Super Smash Brothers from the Metroid franchise, then there's always like the Hunters from Metroid Prime Hunters. There's that.
Tara was just trying to get on the keyboard.
Aw.
Now she's in kitty jail.
And now that we have Ridley, I guess we could add Kraid next. And I know a lot of people are saying add Captain N so we can have a Captain N the Game Master reunion, because now they have Megaman, they have Simon Belmont, and they have Pit.
Well, technically, you could make Captain N on your own with the Mii fighter as a gunner. Perfect match. Boom.
Okay, there you go.
Perfect. Yeah. Also, damn it.
They would have to provide the kind of outfit that would look like Captain N.
Yeah, that's true. Like an actual Metroid, though. I mean, like the space jellyfish thing.
Yeah.
Have one of those as an actual playable character.
You know what? They actually did do that a few years ago. You know those like custom fighter games that people do on the internet? I forget what it's called, but there was actually a Super Metroid character that you could actually play as. I did try it, and it sucked because all it did was float around, and if you didn't grab the monster, then no wait, I remember Mugen. I think that was called Mugen, right? Let me just look it up. I think it's Mugen.
Is that the one where you just have like it's a moddable fighting game where people just
that's the one. Yes, it is Mugen. Yes, that's right, Mugen. Yeah, it's a moddable fighting game where you get to be able to upload like various characters and do whatever you want with them. Basically, I've seen various ones. I've seen everything from like superheroes to movie characters and the craziest video game characters that you would never expect to see in a fighting game. It's really customizable. There was even a Mugen edition that I remember in college where they had the fast food mascots, which actually was pretty funny.
I remember the Queen Xenomorph in Mugen.
Yeah. So, I mean, that would be cool if they had a playable Metroid to fight in Super Smash Brothers. But yeah, I think that we're, doing baby steps for adding additional characters for Metroid. And King K. Rool. I mean, about time that we had another character in from Donkey Kong Country. Let's see. And I mean, I was surprised Richter was there. I would thought that they would have had Trevor there because Trevor is more well known than Richter, and also Trevor has the Castlevania series. So I thought that maybe he would have been added into the game.
That's true. Yeah, although Richter does have his fans too.
Yeah, he does.
But
Terror of Death.
But in the whole thing with sorry, Creepy, continue.
Terror of Death dropped $5. By the power of the vampire killer, may the Belmont live.
Yes.
But the kinds of characters just all getting mixed into Smash with Mugen and stuff, that kind of reminds me a bit of what's going on with Tekken, that news.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Okay, so there have been a lot of weird characters added into various fighting games.
Toby Kirkby's asking, what the sweet loving fuck was that noise? I farted, okay?
There, you got what you wanted. Congratulations. All right, so here we go. So Tekken 7 is going to be featuring The Walking Dead's Negan. I mean, this is really, really absurd. I mean, I know about in Mortal Kombat, they've added characters like horror movie icons and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Kratos, and then there's Soul Calibur, in which they added Darth Vader and Yoda. But this is a new one for me. So
123784444 games dropped $5 and saying, "Yo, scroll up. I sent a super chat to guys." I think it was a $2 one. I think I remember is like everyone was talking at the time. I believe he said, "Yes, we did it. Sandwiches unite."
yeah, we did the sandwiches thing a while ago, but yeah, you can always like fast forward, rewind this video to the beginning, and you can see Decker eat a sandwich.
Tom Ferrara, we missed another one, says, "Does Chibithulu love Mothra like you, Creepy?" Yes, he does. Sorry, that one slipped by the radar. I apologize.
To be fair, the chat's going really fast this today.
It is.
Which is
It's
good.
like,
I love engagement. It's very good for the algorithm.
I mean, it's a good thing. Don't get me wrong. It's just it's all going by really fast. If we miss one of you, let us know.
That's the sinister part of being a YouTuber is like, hey, you gotta put up more videos often because that's what helps your channel, and that's a good thing to be doing because people like when you put up videos often. God damn it, Craig Griffin says like he fought it 6 times. But then you get the part where everything's just a number and everything's calculated and everything's like, oh, well, the algorithm likes this, the algorithm doesn't like that. So it's like getting people to chat, always a nice, happy thing to do. And then you start seeing it like numbers and it's like, yes, please, talk more, yes, that helps, good. Like, comment, subscribe, click the bell icon, and then click all notifications.
Sticker should be doing commercials.
I'll say.
Origami Miracle says Decker needs to hurry up and put out more Halloween videos. And yes, I agree. There's like 5 more movies in the Halloween franchise and 5 more weeks in summer. So I better not take longer than a week to do any of them from this point on. Yeah, Patrick Johnson's like, I unsubscribed 6 times. Oh god.
Is that going to be the new reoccurring meme?
6 times. That's going
six
to be the
times.
predator of this stream.
All right. So while everybody else creates their own unique 6 times meme, I will read off this article. Today, during the final day of EVO 2018, oh yeah, that's right, EVO happened, which was awesome, by the way. Bandai Namco announced Tekken 7's second season pass, which will feature new gameplay changes and a slew of new characters, including Negan from AMC's The Walking Dead. Yes, you read that right. Negan from The Walking Dead is joining the Tekken 7 roster because that's the bizarre and wonderful world we live in these days.
God damn,
the announcement was made
6 times. It was like, I've eaten 6 limes. I got them for 6 times.
The announcement was made on stage at EVO 2018 via Tekken director Katsuhiro Harada, and naturally the crowd went a little crazy for the trio of new characters, especially Negan, which is a frontrunner for 2018's most left-field announcement. Negan will be a part of the game's second season pass, alongside with Lei Wulong, Anna Williams, and 3 characters not yet revealed. Season 2 will bring new mechanics such as wall bounds, as well as making multiple balance changes. Further details on Season 2 and the Season Pass are currently quite scarce, but Bandai Namco does provide the following blurb about today's announcement.
Leading Blind just asked, have you seen Robert Englund in Phantom of the Opera? And I have not seen that, but now I am very curious.
Oh, yeah, I think I have heard about that. It's basically Nightmare on Elm Street, except told in the perspective of Phantom of the Opera. Very similar-esque to it, which I heard was, like, pretty interesting. I think it came out, like, around the late 80s when Nightmare on Elm Street was, like, really popular. Okay, so, let's see, with Season 2 of Tekken 7 Season Pass, fighters such as Anna Williams, Lei Wulong, and Negan from AMC's The Walking Dead join the fight. Your eyes do not deceive you, your pounding heart does not betray you. Negan from AMC's The Walking Dead is making his way into Tekken 7 to deal a world of pain in the Tekken universe, because nobody else in the series does.
Tom Ferrer dropped $5 and asks, did you hear about Haruo Nakajima passing last year?
Yes, we did hear about that.
Yeah.
And that was great.
That was before we were doing Live and Wired.
Live and Wired, yeah. So we didn't get it didn't come up, yeah.
Although, I think there was somebody recently who passed away, a Japanese voice actor who has been in a lot of things. I need to look up the name, but I'll get to that in a minute. Where was I? Oh yeah, Negan, beloved by fans of The Walking Dead for his charismatic yet sinister demeanor, is ready to destroy all challengers, regardless of their stature in the Tekken universe. As the personal bodyguard of Kazuya Mishima, Anna Williams is a beautiful and intelligent officer with deadly fighting skills and serves to drive her sister Nina crazy. Lei Wulong makes his long-awaited return to Tekken, sporting new digs in his deadly tiger, crane, leopard, snake, and dragon styles. Tekken 7 is available for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. For more news, click over there. And who would win in the greatest? Is this the single greatest fighting crossover game of all time? Who would win in a fight, Negan or Devil Katsuya? Is this real life or is this fantasy? I don't know.
The single greatest crossover fighting game of all time. No, that's Smash Brothers. It's always been Smash Brothers. It's gonna be Smash Brothers. Thank you, Smash Brothers Ultimate.
Yes, the jerk says, "Watch Zombie Stripper 6 times."
Tom Ferrer dropped $2 saying, "Spoiler alert: Mothra dies in Infinity War."
No.
I thought everyone was just turning into Mothra powder.
That's a possibility. Although that means that Thanos has some very weird fetishes.
I'd prefer that, honestly, over everyone just... Thanos versus Apocalypse, who would win?
Okay, now I just looked it up. So it was Unsho Ishizuka who
Thanos
passed
or
away.
Apocalypse? Oh, say it again. Sorry.
Yeah, it was Unsho Ishizuka who recently passed away. He was the voice of Mr. Satan from the Dragon Ball franchise, Professor Oak from Pokemon, old Joseph Joestar from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and various other characters. Oh, and he was the voice, and going into relevance of Tekken, he was the voice, the Japanese voice of Heihachi. So, yes, may he rest in peace.
Yes.
Anyway, so now I just found it, and also Epic Jason X9000 says, "Don't worry, creepy. We can have Mothra give birth to her son Leo," which is funny because Leo is also a name of a character in the Tekken franchise. So
True.
So much. Tekken, why are you such the greatest fighting crossover of all time? Stop it! Is that Smash Brothers?
Yes, I mean, just because that Negan is in Tekken, I guess that doesn't. I mean, it's like with Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat had the Turtles, they had Kratos, they had Jason Voorhees. Did it say that it was the greatest crossover fighting game of all time? No, it didn't say that.
Now, if you can make the sword me be a baseball bat me, you could put Negan in Smash Brothers.
Oh wow, that would be that would never.
I think
happen.
They already got like the leather jacket and stuff. You could do anything with the face. So, yeah, people have done crazy stuff with the face. Trust me.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. But yeah, so Negan is going to be in the new Tekken game. So, all right, I think we should take a break from the video games because there's still a lot to talk about.
I do not take breaks from video games. It is not.
All right, fine. We'll talk more. We'll talk more video games.
The Terror of Death dropped $5 saying, "I still for Blaze Blue and Guilty Gear for fighting games."
Yeah, those are great games, by the way.
Yeah,
I remember. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just wanted to say I remember the first time I really found out about Guilty Gear was while I was in Japan the first time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Zach Jones asks Decker, "Why don't you have 1 million subs? You're so cool." Contrary to popular belief, I'm really not very good at this.
Well, well, I remember when I first heard about Guilty Gear. This was, believe it or not, I used to be involved in a tournament group where we used to play like a lot of video games in tournaments, and Guilty Gear was one of the games. And alongside with that, there was actually Melee, because this was before Brawl came out. And let's see, there was also Soul Calibur, Dead or Alive, and Naruto Gekko Ninja Taisen 4, which was a Japanese ninja. It was the Japanese Naruto Clash of Ninja 4, but not the Clash of Ninja 4 that you know about in America. It was actually a different version. This was like around during the Sasuke retrieval arc, and this was like when they had like the Sound 4 and Kimimato and all those characters. This was before Shippuden. And those were the games that we played a lot in the video game tournaments. If you're actually more interested in learning about that, go look up my YouTube channel and search for Wivolution. You'll learn more about that. But
Darth Necrosis asks, Decker, have you tried out No Man's Sky yet? And Damien Lucifer says, he played it 6 times!
Yes, he played it. No, he most. I think there would be like he played it 6 seconds right before he quit.
I tried playing it a few times, but I mean, I haven't tried it in the latest patch, but in the previous one where it was supposed to be really good, like I played it when it launched, and it was like, it was No Man's Sky at launch. It was supposed to be like, oh, we added base building, we added this, we added that, it's so much better. And I tried loading it, and none of the textures would load, so I'd land on the planets and not see shit. And I'm like, looking around, there'd be like a Starfield kind of blurry, and the surface would be kind of where all that glitchiness you love when it does nothing to draw, and it's trying. There's a few things that draws, and it just keeps redrawing it over and over again, and it's like, okay, I can't figure a damn thing out that I'm looking at. Fuck. So I tried playing several times. That's the best I could get out of it. The latest patch where it actually added multiplayer that was supposed to be there in the start, that's. I have not had the chance to try to load up yet.
We have a $1.99 comment from Tom Ferreira who says, Mothra versus Goku.
My money's still on Mothra.
I think Goku, he's a strong motherfucker, fast, and like, I mean, unless we're going like really, really, really early Goku, like original Dragon Ball child Goku, then maybe Mothra's got a chance. But Goku's pretty damn strong in a little package. It's like, boom, it's like a bullet right through that moth.
Yeah. It'll be like, I mean, even if it was Kid Goku, I'm sure that he would probably just plow Mothra very similar to what he did to King Piccolo.
This is upsetting and creepy.
Yes. There's
a better fight. Mothra versus Biollante.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. Although, didn't they actually like work together or in the movie, or was that that was a different movie?
Well, kaiju's, whenever anyone's friends, it's only so they can be enemies later, and if anyone's ever an enemy with someone, they can team up for some strange reason at some point.
All right. Sure. All right, we actually do have a few articles with Vidya games, and then we can move on to other stuff. So this is actually a really interesting article that I found that actually would be pretty interesting to discuss about. So here we go. Okay, high school kids send Earthbound into space.
Woohoo!
How much do you love Earthbound? Do you love it so much that you would shoot it into space? When Ronnie Doyle turned 14 recently, his grandfather bought him an unorthodox birthday gift by making a donation to a crowd-funded science group called Earth to Sky Calculus. He gave his grandson the opportunity to shoot a small object into the realm often called the edge of space, documenting the whole thing with a video. He can pick anything smaller than a lunchbox, and he decided to give one of his prized possessions his copy of Nintendo's 1995 Super Nintendo RPG Earthbound. Yeah, that's a pretty risky thing considering that a physical cartridge of Earthbound is really expensive.
It is, but I still think that's awesome.
The process of sending this game was very frightening. This is a $200 game that has a big risk of not coming back in one piece. The cartridge was drilled into both sides to ensure it had a safe flight, but I decided to take that risk. And here's a picture of it in space.
Jason X9000 asking, can we send Superman 64 into the sun?
Absolutely. I mean, if we can send copies of Shaq Fu to have it destroyed, then yeah, let's send Superman 64 into the sun.
Excellent.
The helium balloon holding the cartridge launched from Doyle's home state of California had a GPS attached to it, which let the Earth to Sky Calculus team, made up a group of high school kids and their teacher, find it once it landed. The game reached an altitude of 100,000 feet, where, according to the group, the noontime sky faded to black. The stars popped out and meteors can be seen in broad daylight.
My dad never let me send things into space. He always just came home and beat me.
Wow. The cartridge still works, Doyle says. For now, he's keeping it in his retro game collection unless someone wants to trade stadium events for it. As far as I know, this is the only copy of Earthbound that is not bound to Earth. Wow, that's actually pretty cool. Sending something to space is part of a project. So-
And Darth Necrosis says, "Damn, Dark Decker."
Yes. It was
Oh
very
boy.
dark. So yeah, I'm actually curious. I mean, if you had to send one video game up to space, what would it be and why?
That depends. Is it like, are we like showing how much we love this game, or are we sending it up to space because we never want to see it again? Because if it is the latter, I do have one that I remember.
Sure. What is it?
A Boy and His Blob for Nintendo.
Ooh, which one? NES or Wii?
NES, not the Wii version.
I have
Oh,
a
okay.
Wii game,
Okay.
but it's one that I want to send because I think it'd be cool to be like, this went to space. That would be the Metroid Prime trilogy.
Oh,
Oh
that'd
yeah,
be awesome. Yeah.
Mhm.
Let's see. If I had to send a game away that I just
Like,
absolutely despise, that I never want to see again for the rest of my life, I think that I remember on the let's use oh yeah, it would probably be I would think it would probably be like the fourth Jack and Daxter game, the one that was not made by Naughty Dog, because I was such a huge Jack and Daxter fan and I played it and I hated it. I wanted to send it up into space so that it could burn into oblivion and
Thank
making
you.
sure that nobody ever sees it again.
I remember I was so upset and so disappointed when I bought that game because I was so excited. Because thing about it is that I love the Jack and Daxter games, but I had kind of fallen out of the fandom,
Yeah.
and then I happened to be in I can't remember which one it was. It was in like a computer store. It was like, it wasn't Circuit City, but it was something, and they had it. And I was so happy. And it was like available for like 20-30 bucks. And I was so happy because I was like, there's another Jack and Daxter game. I didn't even know about this. I'm so happy. I took it home, and boy, was I in for some disillusionment.
Lazarus
Yes.
Soul 82 says, "Okay, Patricia went dark too." And Nerdman is asking, "Is that the shit PSP title?" People
Yes,
had
it
a
is. Yeah, yes, it is the shit PSP title, but it actually got a PlayStation 2 port. Very
Yeah, that-
similar.
Right.
like Liberty City Stories and Vice City Stories as well.
Exactly, something like that, yeah. So
We're-
originally it was for the PlayStation P, but then they ported it into the PlayStation 2, and I played the PS2 version because I don't own a PSP, and then
Right.
I just wanted to die because that game was terrible, and they pretty much changed the lore of the game.
Right.
And it's just like, why? I mean, I have been hearing rumors that they might be doing a Jack and Daxter game as soon as they're done with The Last of Us 2, but that has yet to be confirmed.
Also, real quick, Tom Ferrera dropped $2 and said, "Mothra, the Queen of the Monsters." Yes.
Woo!
Okay, one of them said that Dead Meat said that they're interested in doing a collaboration with me, and Slippery Fish Flap says, "When? What video from Dead Meat did they say that?" That'd be handy to know. But then again, like John Massari said, I think he said he's talked to several people like Dead Meats. Like, I think that they are located in LA,
Oh, cool.
and like he and Massari also kind of communicate, as far as if I'm remembering right. I hope I got the names right. I know I got Massari right, but I hope I got the other YouTubers' names right. And I think it was Dead Meat and I was talking to, and I did come up allegedly, sort of, kind of, and the idea of, oh yeah, hitting 100,000 is like, oh, at 100,000 things just go off from there.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't, but then again, I'm an impatient fuck, so maybe they will. I don't know. I still haven't gotten the notification saying, hey, you're getting a silver play button. That still has not happened yet, so I don't know. But I did get the little thing where, for some reason, I was able to actually have Content ID work for me now. That starts at 100,000. So I found it tagged one video from one channel that they uploaded one of my videos, but going through it, I found out they actually uploaded 34 of my videos. So I was like, well, let's see here, and claim, and oh, the channel just got nuked.
Yeah. That actually happened to Oops. That actually happened to me, by the way. Like last year, I was doing We're in Between, which was my As Told by Ginger podcast. And then somebody messaged me saying, "Hey, Patricia, they're stealing all of your podcast episodes
Oh,
and claiming that it's you."
they
And
said,
I
don't you
was,
mean Masari?
oh, yeah, Masari.
Yeah.
Anyway, so apologies, John, if you're watching this. So basically, when I found out that that happened, then I decided, okay, I'm going to say, I'm just basically going to say that I own these podcasts, and then 24 hours later, the channel was gone. Pretty much it. So same thing, the channel got nuked.
Right.
So creepy. Have you gotten any of your videos stolen by somebody?
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, as far as I know, that hasn't. As far as I know, no one's done that. I hope it doesn't happen, but eh. I mean, I'm kind of like someone wanted to say that they were me, like that was a thing. Like
Yeah.
according to 4chan, I'm still like the worst of the worst of the worst. Am I not?
We have a 4.99 comment from Tom Ferreira. Mothra has died 6 times, or has dies 6 times.
Dies 6 times. And we have a Terror of Death dropped $5 and said, Patricia, no, if we send Superman 4 to the sun,
Superman
we'll end up
64.
Superman 64 to the sun, we'll end up with a Superman 4 Nuclear Man situation, and no one wants that.
Okay, you're right. Sunlight makes him stronger. Okay. We'll send it to a black hole where it'll be sucked in and it will never come out ever again. I think that's much better.
Yeah.
So black hole.
Black hole. The
All right.
black hole.
Black hole. All right. We do have some more video game news right before we tackle in some YouTube news because that's our favorite. Anyway, so more news about the Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
No,
Yes.
no, 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 no,
I know.
no.
I know. It's painful. Okay, let's get this over with. Okay, so we have our new Sonic. Ben Schwartz will be voicing the titular character in the upcoming Sonic the Hedgehog movie. So far we have James Marsden, Tika Sumpter, and Jim Carrey. Jeff Fowler, who received the Oscar nomination for his 2005 animated short Go for Broke, is helming the movie, which will blend live action and CG elements. Neil H. Moritz is producing with Deadpool director Tim Miller, executive producing, alongside with Toby Asher. Paramount has given Sonic the Hedgehog a holiday season release of November 15th, 2019. The project, based off of the Sega video game franchise, has been in the works as Sony, but the studio let its film rights lapse, and Paramount picked up the project in October. And it talks about more information about, who Schwartz is. Schwartz is no stranger to voicing classic character. He's currently voicing Dewey on the Disney Channel's reboot of DuckTales and will voice Leonardo in Nickelodeon's Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. On the film side, Schwartz is most recently seen in Blue Iguana and will appear next in the Kevin Hart, Tiffany Haddish comedy Night School, and has a new James Corden-produced Showtime series where he'll star opposite Jillian Bell.
Satoshi Katsumoto says Ben Schwartz is Sonic. Not a bad choice, but
Yeah, I mean, they should have had the current voice of Sonic do it. I mean, he does a great job. I don't understand why they didn't cast him to do it. If they can cast Jim Cummings for for Winnie the Pooh, then why can't they cast the guy who voices Sonic currently into this movie? I don't understand.
Oh boy, but yeah, I don't know about Ben Schwartz. His vocal range, I haven't really unknowingly heard him much, so I don't know how close to a Sonic kind of voice he could do, but it is confusing why not just use the people who have been doing Sonic for years. Or the guy who was doing Sonic for years before 4Kids said, no, we're going to use our guy, and then Sega was like, well, he is the voice for Sonic now, so just use him in the games because we feel like it's a good thing to have them have the same voice actor.
Yeah, it's confusing. But at least it's not that much of a train wreck. I mean, he has done voice acting and other stuff, but I mean, seriously, Jim Carrey as Dr. Eggman is still.
John Ratsey says he wants to see Tim Curry as Eggman.
Yes, I want that in my life.
Become so fucking hyped for this movie.
I would love it. Yes.
Oh man.
But sadly, since the last I actually saw Tim Curry in a convention a while ago. I didn't meet him because he was very tired. I'm sure some people know that a few years ago he suffered from a severe stroke. And currently he's in a wheelchair right now and he's recovering. I saw him, I think it was either 2 years ago or last year in a convention, and he was busy like signing autographs. And he was looking really, really tired. And there was still a very long line of people. So
Nerdbane saying too bad Tim Curry is stroke ridden. And then Epic Jason X9000 says Andrew DeVoff as Eggman.
That could be possible.
That would be terrifyingly scary, and I would love it.
Or maybe
even if the rest of the movie was just CGI characters interacting with humans, and I'm a delinquent and stuff, and there's a cop friend I have, and which strangely enough the synopsis given in this article didn't say. It was like, Eggman turns animals into robots. Hey, Sonic, gotta stop him. It was like that original article we read said something very fucking different.
Yeah, I mean, they still haven't been giving us what the synopsis is. The only thing that I did see of the Sonic movie was there's a picture of what Green Hill Zone looks like, and it's supposed to be like a billboard of like, here lies Green Hill Zone, and it's surrounded by trees, and everybody was like making fun of it and just pretty much made it into a meme. And I think it was like, here's Green Hill Zone, it's the worst thing that you will ever see ever. And then they just basically made a meme out of it, and they said like, here's like a forest area, and then they called it Green Hill Zone, saying it was the worst thing ever. So yeah, not a lot of high hopes for this movie.
Okay, well, we can finally say, okay, we got a super chat from who? It just scrolled up. Please.
Let me see if I can find it.
Just Another Black Man says, well, we can finally say that Sonic is finally dead, unless they switch actors with Jaleel White, the original Sonic.
I miss Jaleel White as Sonic. He just had a style and charisma that he gave the character that I felt like worked.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. I guess it depends. I guess, if Sonic was, I think that, the way that Sonic, is with, like the current fan base, as well as like with Sonic Mania, with everybody loving like the classic Sonic, it would make a lot of sense to have Jaleel White come back as, Sonic.
Parent Schubert is saying that I'm just hoping Eggman sounds like the Sad Am show.
Oh, we need to get Jim Cummings back for that.
I'm just thinking that the YouTube poops. The old Walrus guy videos is what I'm thinking of. That's what I want Eggman to sound like in this.
Yeah,
that would be awesome.
Like where Eggman, instead of being this comical villain, is like this totalitarian dictator. Yes.
I just want Eggman to go and just have like a nervous tick where he just shouts out "Pingus."
Pingus, yes.
Pingus, 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 pingus.
Right now, people are going to be wanting that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nerdbane saying "Pingus, Bachnik," and that was faster than the lag would have allowed, so they thought of it too.
Yeah.
Doug Bradley as Robotnik. That would actually work out a lot better too. Thinking of Doug Bradley without the makeup and thinking of putting makeup back on him to transform into Robotnik. I could imagine Doug Bradley as Robotnik far faster than I could Jim Carrey.
That'd be cool. All right, we got 2 more video game articles to discuss about.
Satoshi Katsumoto says, my favorite Robotnik line from Sadam is this: a nice dream, but dreams are meant to be broken.
All right.
This is like, what?
All right, so here is our next article. So we're going to be talking now. Here's the segue in which we're going to be talking from video games to TV series, because we have a lot of TV series to cover. All right, so let's start things off with something that has been around for a little while, but now it's been confirmed. So Master Chief is going to be confirmed to be in the Halo TV series, which will be released in 2020. So, who wants to read this one?
Okay. Showtime's upcoming Halo TV series will star Master Chief as a lead character. IGN has learned. Showtime's president of programming, Gary Levine, told the publication that there will be other protagonists to support the Chief. Levine said that a Television Critics Association Summer Press Tour panel that Master Chief's face being constantly obscured by his helmet is a key question and an important part of the series. It depends on who they get to cast as Master Chief. If you got a lot of star power, that helmet's coming off, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Back in June, Showtime announced that the series will be executive produced by showrunner Kyle Killen, Lone Star, and directed and produced by Rupert Wyatt, Rise of the Planet of the Apes. At the time, no release window is announced, but Levine told IGN that Showtime is aiming for a 2020 release.
Okay. So I take it that Television Critics Association, I guess that's what the TICA stands for when we were discussing earlier. TICA.
Real quick, Tom Ferraris dropped $2 and said, "I'm allergic to cats," and then dropped another $2 and says, "Don't have much to say, bye."
All right. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Tom, very much.
Working title says Arnold Schwarzenegger as Eggman.
Ooh.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's current age and squishiness, I could see it.
Sure.
Get me the hedgehog. Get me the hedgehog now.
Oh my god. Get
You know,
me
I
Sonic
read
the
somewhere that
Hedgehog.
I read somewhere that he actually had to hire a speech coach to keep his accent because after living in America for so long, he was losing it.
Ah.
It's like, no, that is your trademark right there. So you say, like, do it now. 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 Better.
Into the chopper.
It's kind of the opposite of the radioactive man. Up and at 'em. Up and at them. Up and at 'em. Up and at them. Up and at 'em. Up and at them. Oh god. Dr. Swolbotnik.
Yes.
Oh.
My god.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
Yes. TV. TV.
It's bad that we can do a better Arnold than Arnold, says the Mad Groper.
Oh man.
Yeah. All right, time for our last video game news. So this one is actually pretty hilarious. We have a Kickstarter game. This one has actually been funded by the time that I picked up the article, but seriously, just reading this article just makes me laugh so hard. So right before I pull this up, so Decker, you were playing Doki Doki Literature Club, right? Which is like a dating simulator game, right?
Just a second, I got an ant crawling on my pants.
Lovely. Anyway.
Cool.
So
That's
yeah,
scary. Texas. Don't like ants.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, so
Ants
date
in the
simulator
pants.
games.
Yes.
The
Doki Literature Club. I still, people are like, "Hey, Decker, when are you going to finish that?" I'm like, "I don't want to go back."
But yeah, the point is that there's always been there's a ton of games in which you get to date. There's women, men, pigeons, but now you get to date swords. Yes, swords. Boyfriend Dungeon, where you get to date your own weapons. What have we gotten into? All right, please, Decker, read this.
Okay. In some ways, Boyfriend Dungeon is a video game like most. You, a skilled badass, are tasked with diving headfirst into dungeons full of monsters, with the primary goal of wrecking their shit. If you've played more than 5 video games, you've almost certainly done this sort of thing before, but Boyfriend Dungeon has a twist. Some people can turn into weapons, and they're all hot, and you can date them. So, if you're following, Boyfriend Dungeon is a game about dating your sword. That's the pitch made by developer Kit Fox Games on the Kickstarter. They recently launched an order to finish up Boyfriend Dungeon for release on PCs next year, and it honestly sounds kind of dope. Provided the game is able to deliver on its promise, you'll do fun action-packed monster fighting, and then more chill, laid-back date stuff with your super cool weapons turns back into human form, and you can chat them up and get to know them better, which also translates into you being able to fight monsters better by day. And despite its title, it's not just about dating hot dudes. There are also romanceable women and non-binary characters, which is thoughtful and rad. And the style essentials you need.
Yes. So I never thought in which there would be a game in which I would be dating a sword. So,
and I was reading that and I was like, oh, non-binary, but how does that work? Wait a minute. They transform in between man and woman and sword already, so yeah, why not? Fuck it. Oh god, who said that? It's like gives new meaning to sheath your weapon, but I missed the name.
Let me see if I can look it up.
The Mad Groper.
Ah, okay. The Mad
Important
Groper.
name to catch. And Satoshi Katsumoto says this is just Soul Eater, the game.
I guess maybe they wanted to make a Soul Eater game, but maybe they couldn't get the rights.
Maybe.
I don't know. Okay, yeah. So
it's like Maka and Soul, and you're like, well, you two just kiss already.
So Jason Coep says, so you can have sex with a sword?
That would be painful.
That was my first thought. I was like, painful.
Better stick with the bow staff first.
Sure. I mean, it doesn't say, it says you can date weapons, so I'm sure there's more than one weapon that it can turn into. So, yeah, mace, spear, bow and arrow, whatever. You can date them.
Fuck that, I'm gonna date a fucking katana, says Zach Jones.
Sure. All right, yeah, that's...
Yes, what will the children look like? I assume silverware.
Or daggers. Kunai. I don't know.
Oh, God.
Okay. Next. Let's talk about it.
Jarian Murray says this game is a secret hidden purpose of Sword Art Online.
Sure.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, continuing.
Let's do so. So, okay, let's go back to movie news. Okay, so let's actually cover another Kickstarter, which actually does sound pretty cool, and it's actually it was actually done by somebody that we are somewhat acquainted with. So, if you guys have ever seen Manic Expression Creative Chaos, which is the documentary based off of the website that we're associated with, the person who narrated for that was Oliver Harper, who has his own YouTube channel. He recently did a Kickstarter called In the Search of the Last Action Heroes, where he is planning on doing a documentary discussing about action heroes and movies based off of them during the 80s and 90s. Well, good news is that he has officially met his goal on the Kickstarter, and I want to actually read about the Kickstarter so that you guys would know about what this movie is about. And these are all the people that he is confirmed to be having guest star in the interview so far. So we have Michael Biehn from Terminator and Aliens. We have Richard Donner from Lethal Weapon and Superman. We have Bill Duke from Predator and Commando.
Nice.
Cynthia Rothrock from China O'Brien and Lady Dragon.
Excellent.
Michael Jai White from Universal Soldier 2 and Spawn. Eric Roberts from Best of the Best and Runaway Train. Al Leong from Big Trouble in Little China, They Live, and The Last Action Hero. William Sadler from Die Hard 2. Peter McDonald from Rambo 3, Tango and Cash.
Nice.
David Worth from Kickboxer and Bloodsport. James Bruner from The Delta Force and Missing in Action. Mario Kassar from Rambo 2, Total Recall, and Red Heat, executive producer. Steven DeZausa from Die Hard and Running Man, a writer. Philip Ree from the Best of the Best series, actor and producer. So this is what it's about. In Search of the Last Action Heroes, we'll explore the story behind the 80s action movie genre, examining how studios were able to turn outrageous concepts into genre-defining tropes, and how the one-man army subgenre produced the superstars of the era. Matrix, Rambo, McClane, Ripley, Connor, Dutch. The power of their stories excited and inspired a generation of action enthusiasts. Join YouTuber and 80s, 90s cinema expert Oliver Harper as he takes us back in time for the ultimate behind-the-scenes look at the most testosterone-fueled era in cinema. Locked and loaded, 80s synth music, exclusive interviews, and visits to the iconic film locations in search of the last action heroes will be the most comprehensive retrospective of the action film genre that defined our childhoods. So, Oliver, congratulations for hitting this Kickstarter goal.
Excellent.
Nice. Michael Wolf says this is basically Expendables Light, but that wasn't a documentary.
No, it wasn't. So this is like looking into the realness of these explosive action movies.
And Princess Cat Gaming says, hi?
Yes, hi, Princess Cat Gaming. Welcome to Live and Wired, where we talk about news articles based off of sci-fi, action, horror, video games, YouTube, and anything that we can look up that looks ridiculous. All right, so going into more ridiculousness, I actually did find something pretty interesting. I mean, it's not good, it's not bad, it's interesting. So, trying to find a good actor for a movie is kind of hard these days. So we have a filmmaker named Tony Kaye who decides that for his next movie, he's going to have his lead actor being played by a robot.
Yay.
A robot. So, yes, please, Decker, why don't you read this?
Okay. As the advancement of technology continues to replace the need for human labor, American History X director Tony Kaye has undertaken a new and maybe controversial step in filmmaking by employing an artificial intelligent AI actor as the lead in his next film, Second Born. Unlike Robin Williams' 1999 film Bicentennial Man or the Steven Spielberg-directed AI artificial intelligence, Kaye is aiming to cast a real robot, kind of like they did in Short Circuit, who will be trained in different acting methods and techniques. Oh, God. This idea, which originated from Kaye and producer Sam Coase because they've never had to work with AI before, is to forego the use of computer-generated effects in favor of a physical AI robot as an actor, who they are hoping will get SAG recognition. And I'm just finding this pretty funny because, okay. And it's a sequel to Firstborn, an indie comedy directed by Ali Afshani and starring Val Kilmer, Tom Berenger, Greg Grunberg, Jay Abdo, Taylor Cole, Reza Cizo Safari, William Baldwin, Denise Richards, and Robert Knepper. It will be released by Lotus Entertainment this year, centers on a young married couple, Iranian-born Ben Safari and American Kate, whose complicated first pregnancy forces their extended family from differing backgrounds to find common ground for the sake of the baby. Okay. Whew. So, my whole thing with the whole AI robot actor is not that I think, it's an AI, it's not a real person. Fuck them. It's that, do you know how bad AI is right now? Like, I have recently been following a lady on Twitter who works with neural networks, and I follow them because they post the funniest shit because the robots are constantly fucking up. She has this thing where she goes and, like, there's this one neural thing that you tell the machine, you tell the AI that is supposed to be able to know what images look like to produce for you something that looks like this description you give it. And it throws a bunch of stuff together that it thinks is right. And 99% of the time, it's wrong. And a good 75% of the time, it's downright horrifying.
Right. We have five Canadian dollars from Travis Barr, who says, "I know everyone keeps bugging you to do the Winter of Asylum, Decker, but for the change of pace, how about the Winter of Jaws?" That'd be fun. Jirian Mori says, Patricia, wondering what the next title for Live and Wired. It's Squishiness Robot Actors. Yay. Sure, maybe we'll put that on the list, but I think that maybe the next title will probably be like, he did this 6 times. We'll think it over.
Oh, God. But anywho, the there's another AI that you give pictures to, and it's supposed to figure out what these are pictures of. And it famously gets them terribly wrong. But if you ask this robot over here for a picture of like a woman eating spaghetti, and it pops out this thing that looks like John Carpenter's The Thing, you take that picture, copy it, and send it to this robot, it'll tell you it's a woman eating spaghetti. It sees nothing wrong with it.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
So it's really kind of weird, and also, like what was it? There was there were the things like other robots that were trying to train them, other neural networks. They were trying to be trained to do specific things. Like, okay, we're going to take all these pictures of people with skin cancer, and we're going to use these to train this neural network to recognize skin cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And a little bit into it, there was a sudden problem they realized. They created a robot or an artificial intelligence that was a ruler detector. It had no fucking idea what skin cancer looked like, but the largest skin cancer, the largest tumors, were always photographed next to rulers. So it saw a ruler. It was like, cancer. Cancer all over the place. It has no fucking idea.
Wow.
And there was a similar thing with the one where it was supposed to organize what certain pictures were, and all green fields, it was like, field of sheep. Because sheep were always pictured in large green fields. So it sees a green field, it's like, sheep.
We have $4.99 from Lazarus Soul 82 who says, "We did the program me to feel pain." I think referring to the robot, so sure.
Why did they program me to feel pain? So, yeah. Nerdbane says, robots are shitty actors. They are so stiff and emotionless. So, just like any mainstream Hollywood star.
I was about to say.
So
I don't think that's a problem really with robots anymore. So,
but Johnny Five, number 5, they did build a real robot for that role.
Mm.
That was the first, fully robotic character that played. The robot character was played by a full life-size robot. Like the Terminator, they just had the torso they flung around with, or the stop-motion animations and the puppets and stuff. But number 5 was an actual wired-up robot with controls, and it had all working parts and everything.
Yeah, it was voiced by a person, but it was a robot, and I actually like that movie.
Yeah, so it's like the idea
technically is not the first robot to be led in the movie.
Yeah, but it's like we're talking an AI. AI really is not there yet, which is one of the reasons why I say, all this AI, this very smart AI we're using to check your videos to make sure you're not a terrorist. Yeah.
Anyway, it's actually funny because somebody actually was posting about like, I wonder if Michael Bay is an AI. Which actually would be nice for our next segment because...
Brandon Kilgore says, I heard of Sophia, but didn't Microsoft make one that people could try to teach it, and it wound up spewing racist propaganda? And yeah, Sophia everyone knows about, and every time I see Sophia videos, I'm like, this is too scripted. This is not real. This is so obviously not real.
Yeah.
But there was Tay Tweets. The Tay AI. It was supposed to be an artificial intelligence that's like a teen girl with a Twitter. And in 24 hours, the internet taught her how to shitpost. And everyone was like, oh my God, what do we do? It's talking about how Hitler did nothing wrong and the Holocaust isn't real. And oh my God, pull the plug, destroy Tay now.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Now I'm actually more interested in talking about Michael Bay now.
Yeah.
Okay,
I will say that does sound like an episode of Archer, though. Like they create, like Archer is screaming about, like Krieger creates an AI, and Archer is screaming about how it's going to turn into Skynet and take over the world. But instead, all it does is just spout. It ends up learning enough to spout racist propaganda.
All right. Well, Michael Bay. Michael Bay. Okay. So we already know about the Dora the Explorer movie. So now they actually revealed a picture of what Dora is going to look like in the movie. Do you see what the problem is?
About 10 years.
Yes, about 10 years. Or 13, because Dora is supposed to be like 4 or 5, and this is clearly a 17-year-old.
I was going to say, I feel like there's something different here.
Yes.
This is not the Dora Explorer that you remember.
No.
Now
this is something that
let's
you would
watch her bend over and fix that engine.
This is like the robot chicken skit of Dora's quinceañera all over again. If you haven't seen that, if you haven't seen it, it's hilarious. Anyway, so let me just read what it's going to be about. Also joining in the cast of the Dora the Explorer movie is going to be Randy, a fellow high school friend of Dora who's become completely smitten with her.
Because that's a topic that comes up in Dora the Explorer.
Yes. Dora the Explorer.
No. Fortunately, this word's the same in both languages.
My God, no.
Doctor,
So I guess this is the replacement of the monkey? Is that what this is?
The monkey's still there.
So who is this guy? There's no Randy and Dora the Explorer. All the other characters are like animals. The only humans that she interacts with are her cousin Diego, and that's pretty much it. I don't remember any other humans, especially this Randy guy. Oh my God. So let's see. It'll shoot entirely on Australia's Gold Coast because, yes, Dora the Explorer takes place in Australia.
Radio... Back the fuck... Okay, Radio Estion says, please tell me this isn't real. I have no hope for humanity if this is real.
This is real. This is very real.
I'm afraid so. It is very real.
Okay, let's read some more. Dora the Explorer finds Dora dealing with high school and dealing with a new group of friends, including her sidekick Boots the Monkey and her cousin Diego, played by Mick Moreno. Madeline Madden will play Sammy, the school's snotty class president. What is this, Dora or Mean Girls? Okay.
This is Dora meets Mean Girl. This is the plot of Mean Girls now.
Oh God.
Tier of Death drop $5 saying, damn you, Hollywood executive who thought this was a good idea! Damn you! Nicole 7891 is like, no, abort!
Yes. Oh man. Oh man.
Okay, read some more.
Nerdbane says if Michael Bay is AI, he would be the Windows Vista, bloated with all kinds of neat effects, but doesn't work properly.
Okay, let's continue. Okay, so Oscar nominee, let's see, Adriana Barraza is Dora's grandma, Abuelita Valerie. Timora Morrison will play the role of Powell. Who is Powell? There is no Powell in Dora the Explorer. Malden Media co-produced the James Bobbin directed film. It'll be supported by the Queensland government via Screenland Queensland, because everybody knows when you think of Dora the Explorer, you think of Australia. Queensland's tropical forest near Tambourine Mountain and Telabujera will be touted as Dora's jungle habitat. It'll be coming out on August 2nd, 2019, and I have lost all faith in humanity.
Yeah.
I just, as long as we can have a nice, happy Dora the Explorer and live-action Sonic the Hedgehog movie crossover at some point, maybe it'll all work out. I don't know.
$2 comment from 123784444 games gave us $2 saying, I don't want to live on this planet anymore. Kill it.
Flurb Knight says Jim Carrey should play Swiper.
You know what? It's funny. I actually know the guy who voices Swiper. I'm actually curious. What does he think of this movie? I'm actually gonna message him right now.
Swiper's in it, though.
Yeah, they didn't mention Swiper. I'm sure that probably Swiper's gonna be like some gangster bully or something.
There's the snobby class president. There's all these other guys. There's Powell, whoever the fuck that is, and there's Boots the Monkey. He's it.
Yes.
He occasionally is taken out back by Randy for some spanking. I don't know.
1237844 games says drop $2 and says I don't want to live on this planet anymore. Kill it.
Perrin
Schubert dropped $2 saying college humor already made one.
Oh
And
man.
so did Robot Chicken. Robot Chicken made a Dora the Explorer skit in which she was turning 15 years old, and she was going around getting alcohol, and she was making out with people and jumping over the building and not landing in the pool. So they did this already. But the fact that we're getting a live action movie based off of a preschool show, my God, just why?
Oh, jeez.
The Matt Groper says, "Swiper swipes Dora's virginity."
Swiper, no swiping. Door 17. Swiper, no swiping.
No.
Oh my God. To be fair, we didn't grow up with Dora the Explorer. We were way too old when this came out, but we do have followers who were young enough to remember this show. And we do not want to see them scarred for life because Michael Bay does not have one cognitive idea on what to make a movie of ever since people were saying, those Transformers movies weren't as good as I remembered it.
Oh, geez. Michael Wolff's like, Swiper swipes right.
No. No.
Okay.
I need something else.
Let's cleanse that.
Yes.
Let's cleanse it with something good. I got something that's good. My God, help. Okay, here we go. Okay, Simon Pegg and Nick Frost's new movie called Slaughterhouse Rules with a Z. So here is what the new movie is going to be about. If you want to be the teacher's pet, baby, you just better forget it. Because you're probably going to be devoured by demons. The debut trailer is here for Simon Pegg and Nick Frost's latest horror comedy movie, Slaughterhouse Rules, mixing School of Rock with Stranger Things for a classy yet totally violent showdown. There's a trailer if you want to go see it. Slaughterhouse Rules is the latest film for known collaborators Pegg and Frost, who have previously brought us I'm dead. 3 Flavors Cornetto trilogy: Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and World's End. This one trades zombies and aliens for demons from another dimension as a fracking accident. I didn't make this up. Fracking. Outside a prestigious private school opened up a gateway to hell. And much like their previous works... Yes, as you do. And much like their previous works, the monsters in Slaughterhouse Rules are a metaphor for an ongoing problem in modern British society. It's about a private school in the UK which sells off parts of its land to a fracking company, and the fracking company then unleashes a subterranean monster that terrorizes the school. It's a big metaphor for the UK privatizing things and is mixed up with some ridiculous sloppy horror. It's going to be coming out in the UK on Halloween, October 31st. As of now, no US release date has been announced, but considering the success of Pegg and Frost's previous work, my hopes are high. At the very least, I'm sure Netflix will be interested, right? It's not like fracking isn't a major problem in the United States too. Oh, and now I'm sad again. So yeah, there's some good news. Yeah, I mean, those guys always know how to make good horror comedy. Shaun of the Dead is a great movie. Hot Fuzz is great. I've never seen World's End, but I'm sure that's good too. So yeah, we have ourselves demons terrorizing a private British school. So yeah, what are your thoughts on this one?
I don't know. It feels kind of right in a Buffy the Vampire Slayer sort of way. Demons in high school. Why not?
I see in the trailer it definitely looks entertaining. It does have a lot of the same kind of pause and then here's something absolutely horrifying. Oh well, continuing on, that you tend to get out of the Simon Pegg kind of comedy. But I mean, I'm wondering is that now too much of that for too many movies, or is it still going to work? I don't know. They used a lot of it in the trailer, so it depends on how well it's paced through the movie.
Yeah, that's fair enough. But usually they always show the good stuff in the trailer anyway, or they show the bad depending on which trailer it is. Seriously,
they show the fucking kid in the Predators trailer. The Predator trailer. I can't say it's the Predator trailer because it's not the Predator trailer. It's the Predator trailer.
I mean, from what I hear, if you go to the theater and see a Saw trailer, you've pretty much watched the whole movie.
Very fair. Very fair. Yeah, I think the thing with trailers nowadays is that it's either like they show you too much or they show you things that are not interesting, and then when you go watch the movie, it has absolutely nothing to do with what the trailer showed, and it could either be good or bad. So yeah, trailers are always a crapshoot.
Yeah, the trailer for The Princess Bride was terrible.
Yeah, the trailer for I remember Frozen sucked. Like it really sucked. Tangle was misleading for sure.
Yeah.
And so was damn, I forgot the name. I always forget the name, even though I actually saw the movie in the theaters. I have to look it up because I'm never gonna have this out of my mind if I don't look it up. Because, all right, I'm just gonna do it really quick because I just saw the movie recently, so I need to look it up. Hold on, give me 1 second. Early Man. Ugh. Why do I always forget that movie? Okay, Early Man was very misleading. When I saw that movie, it was supposed to be like, oh, we have the caveman versus the Bronze Age, and it was in the trailer. It showed like, oh, they're supposed to be like, primitive, and then the Bronze Age comes along saying that they're just primitive and they are no longer welcome in society. When I saw the movie, it's all about soccer. They never showed soccer in the trailers.
Right.
And I'm like,
It's kind of like how I think the trailers to Small Soldiers sort of painted the Commando Elite as the good guys.
Yeah.
yes.
Which was really weird when you actually saw the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's weird.
That was kind of uncomfortable, actually, when you see the actual movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's trying to make a reference or a joke kind of thing that you're not going to get unless you see the damn movie.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, oh, this is a movie about the soldiers that go forth and kick ass. Okay. It's just tiny.
Yeah.
It's like, no.
All right. All right, so let's go on to some other things. You know what? I'm gonna get this ridiculousness out of the way because it is just too shocking to see. So, you know that a lot of celebrities, they do a lot of humanitarian work. They go out there and they go to various countries to help the poor, and they help out the people who are that have less than what we have. Trying to set a good cause, trying to set a good example about giving instead of receiving and all that stuff. So you might be thinking, for an action celebrity, he is supposed to build the bridge between USA and Russia for the goodness of others. Now, when I say that, trying to keep the peace between US and Russia, who would you think would be the perfect person to come by and do it? Well, I know somebody who's not, but they're letting him do it anyway. So, Russia is appointing, believe it or not, to keep the peace between the US and Russia, Steven Seagal. Steven Seagal is going to facilitate relationships with the US for Russia.
Okay, guys, it was nice. Remember, duck and cover? It's not going to help you, but at least it'll give you something to do.
Like what?
I feel like we're done. I feel like there is nothing that we can do that tops that.
So this is how the world ends.
Not with a Trump, but with Steven Seagal.
Yes. Facilitate relations between Russia and the United States into the humanitarian field, including cooperation in culture, arts, public, and youth exchanges. What?
Think of the children. Seriously. This time, really, think of the children.
Okay, Herbert Adogo says, greetings from South Africa. Just wanted to ask Decker and Creepy to review the Anaconda and Python movies, since they are the only movie monsters you're missing. Now, Creepy, if we review Anaconda, will I have to bring some buns in order for you to actually, like, come along with it?
What?
You're gonna you get in the way of me reviewing Anaconda unless I have a plate of buns. It's a crappy joke. Just go with it.
Okay, yeah. Sure, fine. I think that was supposed to be a dick joke, but
I don't know. I think
don't know
that.
either.
Anyway, Seagal, we're doomed.
Seagal, we're doomed.
I think that's all we need to say. Seagal, we're doomed.
Mhm.
This is supposed to be the guy who's supposed to keep peace between the U.S. and Russia. We're dead.
Remember that time he was like playing police officer and he ran a tank into a guy's house and killed his dog?
Yeah.
He's gonna keep the peace.
He's going to be the one to keep peace between the U.S. and Russia.
My God, what?
Doctor, my head.
Well, it's a good thing I have beer tonight.
I'm wishing I had beer. That's how this has gone.
Patrick Johnson saying Seagal's gonna break Putin's arm and it will all be nuked. God damn it.
He's actually with
Terror of Death.
Russia's actually Russia's actually telling him to keep the peace with the Americans. So
Terror of Death dropped $5 and said, and that one meme where everyone just slaps himself in the forehead just happened in real life.
Yeah.
Yes. Do we have anything to top this? Let me see if we have anything to top this. Let's see.
My head.
Okay, I got something. Might not be the same, but you know what? I think that this would probably be somewhat close because it also involves with an action star and Russia. So here we go.
Here we go.
I didn't mean it that way.
Woo!
Okay. So, Gerard Butler's new action movie might be the most poorly timed film ever to be released. Did we start a war? No, but we might have sailed into one. Sorry, what? There's a lot going on in the trailer for Hunter Killer, aka Gerard Butler's latest fuck shit up enterprise. From an unproven director, the writer behind the likes of Street Kings and Ghost in the Shell, the bad one, and a producer of the original RoboCop, Hunter Killer, has been in the works since 2015. It officially started shooting in the summer of 2016, which explains the presence of late Swedish actor Michael Nyqvist, the girl with the dragon tattoo in the cast. Based on the 2012 novel Firing Point, the film finds an untested American submarine captain Butler teaming with U.S. Navy SEALs to rescue the Russian president who has been kidnapped by a rogue general. Sounds fairly tame, and then you see the trailer and its proud 80s action depiction of America/Russian relations. Arriving during a period when said relationship is a bit shaky, to say the least, does not feel the perfect time to release a movie like this, but here we are. So they're calling this the most poorly timed film ever to be released. So it's about a submarine captain teaming with the U.S. SEALs to save the Russian president. So yeah.
Now, looking at the like and dislike ratio on the trailer on YouTube and also watching the trailer, so the movie just seems kind of it is 3 out of 5. Just that sort of thing. It's like it's kind of just a basic thing. Okay effects. Some look really nice. But everything's like, hey, we got this really complicated military storyline going on where we get everything wrong because we're Navy, but we say "oorah," and things like that where it's kind of general action sort of thing. But yeah, it's going to Russia. Gotta save the Russian president. Gotta prevent World War III by maybe starting World War III, or maybe it's already going on. Who knows? And it's like it's kind of written in the same way as 80s, but instead of it being kind of escapism, it's more the kind of thing you'd see from sci-fi horror in the 50s about fears.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I mean, but the like to dislike ratio wasn't bad. It had like a 10% dislike ratio, which is a bit high for a YouTube video. But it's nothing like the 95, 98% dislikes that some videos get.
Ghostbusters. Yeah, but seriously, the fact that article title said the most poorly timed film ever to be released. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot worse, but the fact that they just stated that way, it's just okay.
And even Ghostbusters, even the 2016 remake, it wasn't great, but it wasn't really awful. I didn't think it was as terrible as people made it out to be. It was just not really, really good at the same time. But even then, it had good moments in it. There were still, some cool things in it. Like, I still remember the fight scene near the end, where they whip out all the different weapons and how they're using them and how they're fighting in tandem, like as an actual group. And I remember thinking that's actually really cool and really well edited, And I think about how they would have never been able to do that in the 1984,
Actor Johnson says between this and Seagal, I think American-Russian relations are fucked.
So yeah, I mean, I don't think that video is the most disliked video on YouTube. I remember for a while it was, but I think that something else is like taken over since then. I don't remember what it is, but I'm gonna look it up right now to see what is the most disliked video. Let's see. According to this article from April 2018, it says that Justin Bieber's Baby is the most disliked video on YouTube. So.
Like the total amount of dislikes or ratio? Because I wouldn't believe that Baby has the highest ratio of dislikes.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was like 4.8 million dislikes or 6 million dislikes. I think I just saw
something.
And how many million are from people who never even listened to the song?
Who knows? But you know what? I mean, at this point, controversy has been like substantial in this kind of stuff, which, okay, here's another one. We're on a roll here, people. Okay, so we discussed a while ago about how there has been a movement from people who want to remake Star Wars The Last Jedi because they hated it so much. So to offset that, there has been a fan film parodying Rian Johnson's movie Brick to show support for diversity in Star Wars. So Decker has actually seen it, and
I saw most of it.
Yeah, he saw most of it. The thing is, 16 minutes long. We kind of had to get
this show started, and I couldn't quite finish.
Right.
Yes, it's called Star Wars: Revenge of the Incels.
Oh.
So yeah, I mean,
you want me to read this one, or
yeah, please.
Okay. What happens when you take the plot of Rian Johnson's directorial debut, high school noir Brick, and run it through the current state of Star Wars fandom? You get Star Wars: Revenge of the Incels, a clever short film that works as a parody, a statement, and a love letter. I'd hate to be I'd hate to be the person who got this as a love letter. Co-written and directed by Dana James Jones, this short takes the real events of Kelly Marie Tran's Instagram exit and the fan remake of The Last Jedi and makes them two pieces in a larger puzzle. Blah. I can talk. Then, much like in Brick, a main character, in this case Johnson himself, played by Evan Brown, has to go around and solve the mystery. Unlike in Brick, the supporting characters are versions of J.J. Abrams, Kathleen Kennedy, and several other well-known Star Wars filmmakers.
And you can tell because whenever the first time they encounter any new character, they always refer to them as their full name. No exception.
Right. Which opens up the door to a bunch of geeky humor. Plus, if that isn't enough, almost everything in the short, from the story to the scenes and even the locations, cinematography, and more, are basically a straight homage to Brick. Here's the trailer for Brick. If you want a quick refresher, check it out.
James Jones wrote the film with his uncle, Dominique Flores. The pair are fans of both Brick and The Last Jedi, and when news broke of fans wanting to remake the latter film, an idea began to percolate. The idea was to use Johnson's Brick to tell the story about toxic fandom and The Last Jedi, but then they went one step better. James Jones grew up in San Clemente, California, where Johnson shot Brick with Joseph Gordon-Levitt almost 15 years ago. So whenever possible, he shot this short using the same locations that Johnson did, such as San Clemente High School and the Lowe's parking lot. From there, he used the structure of the story and so much more to basically remake Brick, but tweaking the story to make it about Star Wars and Star Wars fans. I was a freshman when Ryan shot Brick, so I knew all the locations back then. James Jones told I09. So many fans are still divided over The Last Jedi, and I think we just needed to make fun of how serious it's all been taken by some of the fans, and we think that he and his crew did an excellent job. Jones posted a companion piece to the video, putting his film and Brick side by side. If you like the film, then you will love this. So yeah.
Like, I didn't see the whole thing, but it's like, I'm just like, why? If the fans who did not like The Last Jedi, if a certain segment of them deciding, hey, you know what, we're going to talk about remaking that movie, but to take out the things we don't like. If that is something to point and laugh at, then why is Superfans the movie actually taking another movie and remaking it to point and mock the other people and call them, let's see, incels, anti-feminist, and racist? I only got about halfway through, but all of those three things were definitively said. I'll just say, you didn't like Last Jedi? You are, you fucking Nazis, you. It's like, at what point do we say that this is also a little cringe, at least?
I mean, here's the thing. Like, I know that when it comes to the internet, there's always going to be people who are either in one side or the other. And if you say one thing, then chances are you'll be afraid that, oh, somebody's going to say something bad about you. And it's kind of hard to state your opinion because most likely, you're going to get somebody who's going to not only like wholeheartedly disagree, but they will like say something mean about it.
And I got people asking, when am I going to review Last Jedi? And I was thinking, yeah, I think maybe I could. And then it's like this, and I'm back to like, no matter what the hell I say, I could say it's the best movie ever. I got people like, yeah, I was just going to hunt you down at your house and kill you. I could say it's the worst movie ever. I got people saying, I'm going to hunt you down at your house and kill you. I could say it's just okay. And people are going to be like, I'm going to hunt you down at your house and kill you. I'm like, no matter what, this movie doesn't mean enough to me to really warrant giving that much of a damn to make sure my opinion's out there to go and deal with that kind of bullshit. I'm just like, fuck it. It's like Ninja and streaming with women. Just that's not worth the trouble that it could possibly lead to. So fuck it.
It's really complicated.
So no one special says to run the other way, Decker. You cannot win on The Last Jedi.
No, you can't. At this point in time, you really can't, and that's what really sucks. Because I mean, I've never seen the movie, but I mean, I was really curious to maybe checking it out, but because it's so divided, it's like if I have an opinion on whether I like it or not like it, I'm going to get a lot of people bombarding me saying, how dare you? So it's really tough.
Matt Groper says, it's the current state of affairs now. We instantly pick a side, and if you don't agree, then you're fucking evil. Total shit.
All right. Let's move on to something else.
I just wanted to drink some blue milk. I just wanted to have a skit where I'm drinking blue milk and like having it drip down my beard, and I'm like, yeah, let's review this movie. I can't do that because everyone's just gonna be crazy.
How dare you drink the blue milk and have it go down your beard? You're supposed to drink it nicely. You're supposed to drink it so perfectly that it.
Well, I can't use a straw because then more people will be after me.
This is Decker drinking the blue milk.
All right. Let's move on to something more happy, shall we? Okay. Let's. This ought to be interesting. Okay, so we all know that eventually Decker does have to cover the Halloween remakes directed by Rob Zombie. Well, believe it or not, as of right now, he is not the only rock star turned Hollywood movie director who focuses on horror. We have somebody else who is involved with that now. So, according to this particular article that just happened not too long ago, if I can get screen share to work, there we go. Okay, so according to Dread Central, we have Glenn Danzig, who is going to be directing horror movies too. For those who don't know, Glenn Danzig, he is the lead singer of the Misfits, not to be confused with the Gem Band, and Danzig, I guess his own personal band because it's after his last name. He is signing a feature film agreement with Cleopatra Entertainment. Danzig will write, direct, and compose the score for a new 3-part horror anthology. Ooh, another anthology based off of his popular Verotek comic books. Okay, so it's based off of his own property, which is fair. Glenn has a fantastic track record of building brands, including Verotek. Brian Pereira, or owner and CEO of Cleopatra Records / Cleopatra Entertainment, says, "We are excited to bring his vision and passion to the screen. Principal photography for the anthology film will begin in fall 2018. So, yeah, we have a horror movie director who was a rock musician, and he's going to be directing based off of his own comic book. So, are you familiar with this guy? Because I'm not.
The name rings a bell, and I'm just like, I wish I had listened to more music. Because I'm pretty sure I've heard some, but I just can't freaking point out. Like with Creepshow, where I didn't realize I had seen Creepshow because of that picture. And I'm like, oh, that's it. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that whole thing.
Okay. Yeah, so if any of you guys ever read Verotic or ever heard of it, because I haven't. No?
So I see motherfucking chainsaws. Okay, I don't know if they've reached the point in the video where they have the question yet.
Maybe they're referring to your
there's that lag, that little bit of
yeah,
little bit of delay.
Maybe they're referring to the T-shirt.
Maybe
motherfucking chainsaw.
Yes,
it's all folded up because I got the beer belly. I'm working on fixing that with Creepy's help.
There you go.
Well, Creepy's encouragement.
Yeah, so he has a chainsaw in his T-shirt, so that's good enough.
And a shotgun.
And a shotgun, yes.
And then have you heard of it? I don't fucking know. 90s some kick. Danzig has a hit song called Mother and was original singer for the Miss. Oh yes, Mother. Of course I know Mother. Jesus. Love that song. Okay,
so now it's starting to get clear. It's like, I guess when you hear the song, it's like, you ever had that instance in which like you listen to a song and you don't care who sings it, but you like the song. It's like, who sung it? And then you look it up. It's like, oh, it was that guy who sung it. Okay, now I know who it is. So
yeah, that happened.
Yeah, that happens. So Mother, yes, he was the one who sang Mother. So yes, and the jerk says, "I saw that gun 6 times." Yes. So yeah, the guy who sung Mother is going to be doing directing horror movies, and he's going to be starting off with based off of his comic book series. So that's cool. All right. We do have a couple of others right before we conclude. So let's go over to
that stuff with Ninja.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so usually we go over YouTube news, but let's go over some Twitch news. And oh boy, and I'm sure you've been hearing about this because this has been going on.
I heard a lot. There's a little incident.
Yeah. I got this one. All right. So yes, Ninja. For those who don't know who Ninja is a Twitch streamer, and he was recently interviewed, and he recently brought up the fact that he doesn't want to play with female gamers because he says, quote unquote, "If I have one conversation with one female streamer where we're playing with another, and even if there's a hint of flirting, this is going to be taken and going to be put on every single video, and it will be clickbait forever," according to what he said in Polygon. So even though he's already married, he does not want to invite women over to participate in his Fortnite Battle Royale live streams. So, there's been, similar to the whole Last Jedi thing, this thing has been split down the middle. There's a lot of people who agree with this, and there's a lot of people who don't agree with this. That, just because he's married doesn't mean he should invite females. And then there's also some people who say, oh, well, that's very understandable because women can sometimes be really jealous. And, sometimes they can, people can take things out of proportion and try to ruin a person's career. So, yeah, this is very complicated. So...
Yeah, I just know the situation that happened in my own house in relation to this incident. Honey, can I tell them about the ninja bullshit? I'm not going to name names. All right. So there was it popped up, and my fiance, her friend, I believe, was it your friend who started the? Yeah. Uh, well, I think your friend's friend first posted about Ninja, but I think it was your other friend started talking in Ninja's defense, and then. Right, okay. So her one friend posted the article about, hey, Ninja refuses to play with women. Sexist pig! And then my fiance's friend was like, it's his choice. He's an adult. He gives a good reason. Things are a little complicated when you live on the internet, and that's a lot of shit that you're having to deal with all the time. And if that's how he wants to try and mitigate it, that's his right. He can do that. And uh, and my fiance, she chimed in saying, yeah, it's not really a major issue at all. Just let the guy do what he wants to do. And holy shit. Well, their initial friend who first posted the article had also a lot of other friends who are much less inclined to take that kind of people are adults and can make their own choices. And they began to explain how this is actually a heinous crime against all women, and it's keeping women out of tech because little Susie isn't seeing Ninja playing Fortnite with women. So she's going to think that she can't make it in information technology. It's going to hold her back. And anyone who thinks that this is a way to mitigate people acting like jealous and stuff, they must have terrible trust issues in their own relationships. And you can't talk bad about us because we're feminists, and you owe all your rights to feminism, you fucking ungrateful cunts. So the conversation didn't end too well. At the end of the day, my fiance stuck to her guns, saying that Ninja's an adult; he can decide whatever he wants. Also, I don't need this shit in my life. I've removed you from my friends list.
Wow.
Mm.
Ooh.
So yeah, that's kind of how it went in my house.
Oh man, that's rough.
Toby Kirkby says, "I am so taking that clip."
Brian Finlay gave 5 British pounds, I believe, and says, "Remember Shirtgate."
Oh yes, Shirtgate. Do you remember Shirtgate, Creepy?
Vaguely, yeah.
Guy helped lead a team of people when they landed a satellite on a. They landed a probe on a comet. I think it is like there's a comet or an asteroid, something, but so it's very small stellar body that it's just never been done before. Had to be super precise. Was amazing. He was so happy, and he was on TV and he was wearing a bowler shirt with pinup models like all over it.
Mm-hmm.
And there was article after article written like, I don't care what you can do with a satellite probe. Your shirt is sexist, and I hate you, and stuff like that. And he had to go on TV apologizing, crying. And in the meantime, that shirt was made for him by his female friend. But fuck details. Nerdbane dropped $2. It says, so a typical Facebook conversation. Yeah. This is why I don't like Facebook.
Yeah.
I know I got a lot of comments on my Facebook, and I really tried to avoid it. If I could delete my personal Facebook and just have the page, I would love that so much.
Yeah, that'd be great. Oh my god. All right. Let's go to something else because there's some other crazy because everybody loves YouTube news. So we just went from Twitch, so let's go over to more YouTube. So
Ethan really dropped $10 asking, what do you think of the movie Lights Out? And I can't recall that movie. I think I know about the game Lights Out, where you press a button and it's like bloop, bloop, and you try to
yeah the game. funny thing, they actually use that in the Nickelodeon show Space Cases, where they actually use that as like their main hub, where they had to like push buttons so that they can be able to go to space. So,
Right.
yeah. Okay. Anyway, so our next bit of news, because more YouTubes. So,
Hooray.
yes, hooray. So, we have a YouTuber by the name of The Syndicate Project. And let me just get rid of this. There we go. The Syndicate Project had recently purchased a flamethrower from Elon Musk's company, and he was just showing it off. And long story short, the police showed up at his door asking him on why he is showing off a flamethrower. I think there's a picture of the flamethrower. So here it is, right there. So it's on his Twitter page. But yes, it's basically him just shooting a flamethrower on his backyard, and then the police just showed up and he's asking him why is he doing this, and then he had to give it a long detailed explanation about why he had a flamethrower and why he was using it in his backyard. So I think that I think that he was just like, let's see right here. On his Twitter feed, he talked to the police on the phone, and he was told that the flamethrower breaches a section of the law that reads, "It's illegal to have any weapon of whatever description designed or adapted for the discharge of any noxious liquid or gas." And he's continued by writing, "What does this mean? Either hand the not a flamethrower over to the police, or they arrest me in possession of it and search my house for it, obtain a warrant arrest to search my house instead." So there wasn't a warrant for his arrest, but he just declined on giving the flamethrower to the police. So yeah, right over there you can see the YouTube video of him burning a figurine of that. I don't know what the figurine is, on a driveway with a flamethrower. So let's see. Musk's flamethrower has seen plenty of controversy since it was produced and made available to the public. He sold them for $500, and buyers have shut off flames near children and used it for cooking and baking purposes. Musk has been whimsical about the dangers associated with giving flamethrowers to the 20,000 people who have ordered it.
I'm pretty sure that's not what flamethrowers are supposed to be used for.
No, flamethrowers are not supposed to be used for burning figurines or cooking or shown in front of children.
Sponsored by Ego says because America, but no, this was Britain, I believe. And I was just thinking, says a noxious liquid or gas. What was the fuel of that flamethrower? Because if it was not noxious, then technically it's not illegal. Mm-hmm. I know that sounds like a really just kind of pedantic thing, but that's how law works, is pedantry.
Right.
And that's one thing, because I remember in terms of legality of flamethrowers, there was a Facebook video that was a long time ago that had former Vice President Joe Biden, where he was talking about like certain things and getting rid of certain weapons. And one of his examples is like, you can't have a flamethrower. It's understood that's crazy. And I was like, no, actually, flamethrower is not regulated in most states. So flamethrowers have like there's no federal regulation on flamethrowers at all. There's a couple of states have some things against it, but generally, no. It's perfectly legal to have a flamethrower. People don't go around committing crimes with them because that's stupid. They're really big and bulky and have very short range and very low use.
I was going to say, like they're one of those things that sound cool and sound threatening, but pragmatically speaking, a handgun pistol is much better, basically, provided you can aim. Provided you can aim and hit a target, then you're better off with a pistol than a flamethrower.
Max Larsen says, "Outrageous. How am I supposed to purchase my flamethrowers for foliage clearing without proper reviews? I can't Minecraft in real life without fire." That's very true. You cannot Minecraft in real life without fire.
In the UK, you can't have like knives for the most part, so it's just cutting away more and more. The UK is this weird kind of dystopian land of no rights, and as a Texan, I'm like It's like a British accent is almost kryptonite at this point.
Yeah.
Decker, you're from Vermont by way of Pennsylvania.
Close enough. Texan.
I mean, it's fair. I mean,
I know it's been a while. My fiance's like, get the fuck off the. I got Mario Kart night.
Oh,
All right, I think we can start wrapping things up
I was
because
going to say we really should wrap this up.
yeah, there's not really
I
a
know
lot
it's been
to say.
3 hours.
All right.
Don't make
there's
me come on camera and kick your ass. That's what's going through our head right now.
all right. Well, I think that we can cover like a few more things. So let's get back to some video game news. So this is something that Decker actually pointed this out to me. So Diablo 3 is coming to the Switch, although a few days ago, Decker did give me an article stating that they accidentally released the fact that they were going to be coming out for the Switch.
Yeah,
Blizzard and-
Forbes kind of posted an article way before the NDA was supposed to be up, and recently Nintendo posted on their own Twitter a little video officially announcing it, but it did not look like a Twitter announcement video. It looked like something that you'd see in the middle of a Nintendo Direct because there was this big build-up, all these questionable angles, talking with people at Blizzard, and like it took to the middle of the video, like 3 or 4 minutes in, before they mentioned, oh yeah, by the way, Diablo.
Yes. So yeah, Diablo was leaked a few days before it was supposed to come out. Very similar to like something that you would see in E3, in which something's rumored to be coming out and then it does come out. So that is the case here. So details from a leaked report says that the Switch version will cost $59.99 and will include Diablo 3, the Reaper Souls expansion, and the game's Necromancer class. Up to 4 players can adventure together on a single Nintendo Switch system, and up to 4 systems can be linked together without a Wi-Fi connection if everyone would like their own screen. This game also is said to include a new Ganondorf-themed armor unique to the Switch version, which that sounds pretty cool.
Okay.
Mr. Maximum asks, Diablo 3? I haven't even played the first 2. And my take is the first one, really nice, fun, spooky horror. Tough as shit, but you can save anywhere and reload, so it's got that going for it. And it's on PC and PlayStation 1, I believe.
Okay.
I know there's a PS1 version. I don't know if there's any other console version though.
Right.
Then there's Diablo 2 is PC only. Much more action, much faster. You die, you're dead. You will not be able to reload, but you keep playing. You respawn. You can get your stuff back.
Yes.
But you do lose experience for death. There's a different death penalty and all that.
Yeah.
And all kinds of really fun game. Really love it. Still play it. Diablo 3, much more action, much less horror, much more cartoony, much less involved. It's more of a mindless time waster.
Okay.
But it's fun for what it is. And in a portable form, I feel like it'll work out really nice.
Yeah. Diablo 3
something-
for the Switch will be coming out later this year.
It's something you could just pop up and just play for a couple of minutes and be like, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. I think that we can end it off right here. I don't think there's really much to discuss about. Everything else is just like rumors, and there's some other things too, like some other upcoming TV series and other news involving with like horror movie projects, and there's upcoming trailers for things. And Blumhouse wants to acquire the rights to Friday the 13th franchise, Scream, The Crow, and Alien, so that they can make their own movie adaptations. And there's also the rumors about Idris Elba being James Bond. So other than that,
in the article he was like, no.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
old
again,
and fat.
it's a rumor, so we're not gonna take it to heart. So, for the most part, that's pretty much it. There's nothing really much to talk about. So I think we could just give our closing statements.
The Taken Axis says Decker and Dragons, and I'm thinking, oh, I haven't done that in forever, but there is still demand for the return of Decker and Dragons. Oh, but hopefully when I get my license and I can drive a Nate back and forth, that'll make things a lot easier. I still got things to fix in that car though. The windshield and the rear view mirror, and the AC, the air conditioner. It needs some Freon or some shit.
Yeah.
The Mad Groper dropped $2. Thanks again for the great videos. You guys rock.
Thank
Thank you very much, Mad Groper.
Yes.
For your mad groping.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I'm working on right now, I'm not going to be streaming on the gaming channel tonight because trying to get everything all together, all that happy stuff, and trying to
Right.
keep my fiance happy. I've been doing a lot of work for the last couple of days. Yesterday was all I filmed and edited the entire review. So yeah, that was a lot of fun there.
Yeah.
Of course, next is coming up is the Halloween 6 review, The Curse of Michael Myers. And Tara, what the fuck? She was sleeping on the ottoman and she fell down. She just fell down between my feet, and I just felt this fuzzy thing just thump, and then just started running. It's like, what the hell is going on?
Flora over there has been napping the whole time we've been doing this, so she just woke up and is doing her post-sleep grooming ritual.
So yeah, my videos have been later than I want them, but fortunately I've done a lot of work towards getting the driver's license, and hopefully next amount of time I'm going to spend working towards it isn't going to take up too much of my time. And if I can keep up a video a week, then there's enough weeks left in summer to actually get all of the Halloween videos out before the end of summer.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So that's my goal.
Yeah. I do have the Batman review coming out soon. I do apologize for taking so long getting it out. I ran into some things this week, and also I was going to get it finished before Live and Wire tonight. That was the plan, but that didn't happen because there were some problems with the episodes, with the two, like the files themselves. So I had to go back and basically reconvert them all over again into something that would work before I could do anything at all. So yeah, that happened. But I have that coming up, and hopefully I will have things kind of back on schedule soon. What about you, Patricia?
Well, right now I'm editing a new episode of Casual Chats, which is my podcast series. I'm doing
Excellent.
one on Snick, which I've been wanting to do for a very, very long time, and I have 2 special guests for that. And
Awesome.
the next one is going to be about the Power Rangers franchise. Somebody requested me to do this
Yay!
one, and it's going to be a lot of fun, and I have a lot of special guests coming for that. And content's going to be a little bit slow on my channel because I'm going back to school. So
Oh, congratulations.
thank you. So
Good luck with that.
thanks. So but don't worry. Things for like Live and Wired and various other things like this, it's not going to slow me down. I'll still do it. It's just that my content on my channel may slow down a little bit, but other than that, that's pretty much all that you can look forward to. So 2 episodes of my podcast coming up, and maybe a third. Still working the schedule on that and getting a special guest for that. So yeah, that's all I can say.
Good luck with both.
Thank you.
Charlie, Kevin Burdine wanted to say they love us both.
Aw, that's very sweet.
But thank you all for watching. I have been that long-haired creepy guy.
I've been Decker Shado.
I've been Patricia.
And remember,
Predators.
sandwich.
They heard us 6 times.
He
Dora
ate
the
it 6
Explorer.
times.
Dora the Explorer has made his face palm 6 times.
Okay, that's it.